Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Cloaks and Capes. This is our Monday campaign, Knights of the Arcanum, which you can catch live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Robbie_Landis if you happen to be following us on the YouTubes. Every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'd like to first start by thinking Critical Role, as we are using the Explorer's Guide to Wildemount, Exandria as our setting, and a special thank you to Reliquary Records for all the music that you're going to hear in tonight's game. If you'd like to check them out, you can do so on all of the major streaming platforms. So, last we left the Second Chances, as you have all finally decided on a group name. After surviving a battle in the cave of a cabin in the woods, you made your way further north through the Pearlbow Wilderness to the elven city of Tile. Once you arrived there was a battle happening outside of the front gate where two blighted treants were locked in combat with the Crown's Guard as well as the Tile Guardian forces. You were able to intervene and quite swiftly dispatch the two blighted treants and actually save a few lives in the process. And in doing so, you befriended one of the captains of the Tile Guardian force who introduced himself to you as Etra Cal. He gave you some lodgings within the city at Melora's Tears, where you were able to kind of sit and finally, get in out of the cold for once. Kieran also got a new drink, the first mojito of Exandria, named after her, a Lucky Kieran. Etrical showed back up to kind of try to give you guys some information, see what you're here for. You were all pretty cagey about it, and as he was leaving, Leo tracked him down and had him come up to talk in private, where Leo said that you guys were basically here to help and wanted to help the city free itself from the Empire's rule, which Etra wasn't sure how to take, and said that he would be back the next day to talk with the group at large about what it is they think they can do or would like to do in the city. So, we're going to go ahead and jump right back into there, and we'll pick up right where we left off with those of you who are still downstairs in the tavern part of the inn. Watch as Etra seems a bit perturbed, definitely a lot more lost in thought and concern than he was when he went up with Leo. You see him exit, and I guess, Leo, it's up to you if you come back down or not. And I believe, Rosalind, you were upstairs in bed already, having talked to Light. So it's up to you if you were going to sleep or wanted to come back down or not. But Leo's upstairs, Roz is upstairs, the rest of you are downstairs.
Hi.
What time is it?
Go ahead.
I would probably make my way back down.
Making your way. Not too late.
Way.
It is past dark. The sun has set at this point, but it's probably 8, 9-ish.
Yeah, Hermie and I were going to stay down for just a little bit while Roz got her private moment with her sister, as it was explained to us.
Kieran, I think, is pretty buzzed from the Lucky Kieran.
Yes. There were a lot of buzzed people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I drink slowly.
You are smart.
Not that smart.
Well, once I make it to the table, I'll just be like, okay, we need to have a group meeting, and not down here.
Fair enough.
Oh, you mean like in our minds? Is that
No,
meeting
like,
of the minds?
Like in Roz's room or something like that.
Well, 3 of us are staying there. I can see if she's okay with us going in there. I don't know if she's still in the middle of her conversation, but
She
go
can
check.
end it quick.
I'll go check. So I'll go upstairs and knock on our door.
Rosalind will glance over and not come in.
Well, Maeve will open the door. Hey, are you done?
She nods. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Leo found out some information. He's requesting a group meeting, so we were all gonna just meet in here since 3 of us are already staying here anyway.
She nods. Okay. Yeah, that works.
All right. Maeve closed the door. Accomplished messenger, and just motions everyone to come up.
We come up.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I don't come up, I just sit at the door.
After everyone files in, Leaf is going to hold a finger to its temple and say, "Query, why did we have to come into the room to have a meeting through telekinetic powers.
Because
who
technically we
send,
can
hold
do
on. Who
Yeah,
do you,
yeah.
send
You
that
can only
to?
talk to one person.
One person at a
Sorry.
I
time.
said that to Leo.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, out loud, because Leaf, you can only do that with one person. And I don't want prying ears on this conversation right now.
Rosalind glances over, sitting at the edge of the bed. Something serious then?
I think decently serious. I will make sure everyone gets inside.
Well, Etricol asked what we were doing here entirely, and I kind of spilled the beans on, like, we're here for great change.
Oh.
It's funny. I feel like I just kind of remembered recently why we were here.
Yeah, how about that?
I do remember that part. Anyway.
That is
And-
odd. Were we not here to stop a supposed assassin?
We were
Have
actually.
you
as a matter
forgotten
of
our
fact, here.
task already?
Well, to
Stop
be
that.
fair, we don't have to do that. But...
No, we're here because we know there's going to be an assassination.
hmm So, Leo, what did you find out? Any Bridge of the city?
The people here do not like the Empire at all. And I bluntly asked him, like, what can we do to help him oust the Empire?
So, healthy assassin.
Well, that was gutsy.
Indeed.
Okay. I guess just real quick question, as I'm the new one here. Does anyone anywhere like the Empire? Are they popular amongst the various cities and places of this world?
The Empire likes the Empire.
I'm certain the Empire does like the Empire. Yes, I do believe that. How about the people the Empire rules?
So, for those of you who live here, Leo, Kieran's been around quite a bit, and honestly, maybe even you to an extent. Yeah, but by and large, those who live within the Empire do appreciate the Empire, do like the Empire. I mean, just like any governing force, they probably have their opinions on certain aspects of it, but the Crown's Guard and the Royal Brand protect the cities that they're, told to protect. And for the most part, yeah.
Generally speaking, life is decent.
Correct. Bisetile is definitely an outlier because it is sort of an independent city-state that's being ruled by the Empire, was kind of absorbed into it, and wasn't really given much of a choice, and a lot of the Empire's cultures, customs, rules, and laws are being forced upon them. And I'll say, because Hermie actually knows this from some of the research he did, so we'll say, Hermie, you kind of share a little bit with him as well. And basically, the sort of big, points of contention are obviously, potentially being overtaxed, that they aren't really allowed to rule themselves as they would like to, and they are afraid that their culture and their legacy is basically potentially going to be erased the more that the Empire exerts their influence on the city.
Just a quick question, too. Mr. Black, did he tell us that when he told us who was going to be assassinated, was it the imperial leader of this city or the...
All he said was that there was an assassination plot happening in Bisetile.
Got it.
What I remember it being, and maybe this is wrong, is that the assassination attempt would potentially upset the Empire's control of it, which could cause a huge change, which could be bad for what we're trying to prevent.
Yes, yeah, you were basically told that if an assassination were to happen, wasn't specific on what side it was even for, that it would cause severe economic and socio-destabilization within the Zemni fields, which is basically Bisetile all the way down to, like, Zadash. It would have rippling effects even throughout the rest of the Empire.
Got it. Okay. So, how did he take it when you suggested that we would help?
I said we would help get rid of the Empire.
Yeah, and how did he take that?
How did he take that?
He was a
I mean, we
little-
weren't arrested, so...
He was a little deterred. And he said it was above his pay grade, so...
I mean, it's regicide. It's above everyone's pay grade.
Well,
True.
Well, not quite technically regicide, but it is it is ousting, I suppose, in cold government.
It is
hold on.
treasonous talk.
Yeah,
It is treasonous talk. That is true.
When did we decide as a group that we were gonna start a civil war?
We didn't
We
decide
didn't
that.
decide anything.
No, but it sounds. Pardon me. It's very fuzzy right now. but it sounds like you kind of told him that's what we're gonna do.
No, I asked him how we could help in that regard. I didn't
that
say we were
sounds
going
like-
to do it. That's a big difference there.
But you're stating an opinion in which it sounds like we'd be for it. Right?
I also
you're
didn't
kind of-
speak for all of you either. He's coming back in the morning to get your guys' take on
You're
it.
kind of putting me in a difficult situation here, considering my my city's relationship with the Empire. So
What
thank
is
you.
your city's relationship with the Empire?
It's tenuous. We're just beginning to have trade relations, so we're not trying to take a hard stance on anything.
Query: Should we turn over the traitorous dog to the authorities?
No.
No?
We're not turning over anyone to the authorities
No, we're not there yet. No.
yet.
Say, no, we're not turning over anybody. Let's just. An assassination is going to happen here.
Yes.
Do we wish to prevent it, or do we wish to turn a blind eye or even aid it? That's the question that we have to answer. But we can't answer that question without knowing more about the state of the city. We've seen one pathway and maybe 3 or 4 people.
We also know nothing about this supposed assassin. Perhaps their goal isn't even justice at all. We don't know anything.
Maybe we can. Wait a minute.
Our assassin.
I was saying, like, can I sense for our assassin? Are they in the area?
Go ahead and use the ability. What's the? Let me double check the range on it really quick.
I think it's 500 feet.
It's not much.
Query: Do we even know the assassination target?
No, we don't.
Excellent question. We don't.
You do not sense anything.
Got it.
Do we have any way of contacting Mr. Black?
We do.
No.
Yes,
No.
We
We have the message thing that Kieran has.
Oh right, I forgot.
I have that.
You do have that.
Yes,
I
you do.
have-
You
Should
do
I
have that. Yeah, you do.
Right. I think I put it. Let me just check. I have like no bags or anything. It's just my pockets and my vest, and I'm just like, where did I? I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Oh boy.
Those are some
Here we go.
deep
Right here.
All right, very
Hey,
good.
look, when you're on the run, I mean, when you live life on the road, you know.
Of course. You have to be careful. But
Absolutely.
so how does this work exactly? Does he appear?
He explained that you can use it to perform a sending spell, which
Yep.
once a day you can send one 25-word message, and the recipient can respond with a 25-word message.
Well, I suppose it's worth a shot if we would like to send him anything and see maybe if he's willing to tell us anything more. We were perhaps not able to hear him out the first time.
Should I ask if he has any, if there's a lead or like a clue we should be looking for?
Maybe a person to talk to?
Or we could give it to Maeve so she can talk to them because you're drunk.
I think
I'm
it'd be strong
not
for the
drunk.
sober person, right? You're a little drunk.
I'm not drunk. I'm
You
I'm
are?
hungover. There's a difference.
There is, and I'm not sure you know it.
I do know it.
You're going to be hungover in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Roz
Oh,
nods
it's still
sagely.
nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
It's still the same night. It's been like 20 minutes.
I love
Okay.
that though. First time Kieran's really drank, she walks upstairs 20 minutes later. I'm already hungover, guys.
I thought that was the joke.
We're just looking over like, oh,
Oh,
honey.
Actually, yeah. Here you go, Maeve. Why don't you do it?
Very well. Do I just cast the spell and then say the words, or do I need to do
Yep.
something?
Just let me
Okay.
know once you've invoked the spell essentially, and we'll count down the words for
Okay.
you.
All right, let me plan my words out. That's how I do things.
Go
That's a
for
good-
it.
It's a good plan.
I'm gonna
We've
write-
seen it go badly before.
Yes,
I'm
we
gonna write
have.
it in 20 out, and I'm
Yes,
gonna
we
say it
have.
out loud. Our group has arrived at By tile. How many words is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you know the name of someone to talk to? Okay, that's too many words.
You guys should have just let me do it. This is taking forever.
Oh, well, I guess Callie's just putting that down for me. A write-in by Satel, all quiet, no sign of assassin, any context or leads for us to file. Sure, we'll just say that, I guess.
I mean,
It's gonna figure this out.
That's 17 words. If you got another 7, if you want to put them in there.
Also, you're very
Age,
handsome.
sex, location.
Ask him what his favorite color is.
You
no.
pooping?
What to do? I'm just kidding. No, just send it as is. I think it's fine.
All right. Almost instantly,
That is inefficient.
you hear his voice come back into your head.
Oh, that was fast.
It's good to know that you've arrived safely. Perhaps that you could ingratiate yourself to someone in the local political system, or look for those unhappy with the situation in the city.
All right, I will repeat that back to everyone if
That
they
was-
couldn't hear it.
I believe that was 32 words.
Well, he's more powerful, so I guess he gets
His
to break
setting
the
spell
rules.
kicks ass.
He made some raises, okay?
Yeah, fair enough.
Sorry, non-D&D joke. I explained that. So I suppose we do what heroes do and find out who needs our help.
All right, time to find some side quests.
That, and I suppose finding more about the politics of this place
Oh.
may also be
Oh,
beneficial. Yes?
hold on. I don't know what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
Damn it, I lost Robbie's thing. Where did it go?
I sent her all that information in Discord, and she somehow lost Discord.
It's-
Was it like a private message? It's probably...
Yeah.
Do a control F.
It's not
Control
even.
F.
It's not even that far away. It's literally the last thing I sent her. If she just opens Discord, it's there.
No,
Save
no,
a life,
'cause
use
I
control F.
opened it. I opened it already, and then I exited out.
I should still
I know,
be
I
at the
can't
top of
find
your
it.
DMs. Nobody else DMs you on Discord.
Where are they though?
Oh my god! Right here.
Oh, I found it.
I'm glad you found it.
I'm gonna go and DM her right now.
Great. So two people will have DM'd her in the entire history of her Discord. Excellent.
That's not true. You don't know who talks to me.
You don't
Alright.
know me.
All right, what's the info you have for us?
I feel like
What is
during all of this,
Dara
Courtney is like
stuff?
actually
What
like
is-
going through her notes that she like took at the library,
Yeah.
just like pulling out all these journals and stuff. Where is it? I have
Exactly.
it here somewhere.
Yeah, all the
what
copies.
is
she's made.
Starosta? The heighten the tension between the Starosta and the Ring of Three. What is the Starosta?
All right.
The
So
stars?
Starosta?
Leo and Kieran, make a history check for me.
Who?
Kieran.
Oh,
15 plus 0.
No, you're fine, Leo. You know. Just wondering if Kieran does as well, since she has spent some time in the Empire.
It's an 11.
Nah, Kieran doesn't care to know. Leo, you know that the Starosta
Never.
is it's a political position. Sort of, I guess, like a mayor in a way, but all major cities in the Empire have a Starosta that is kind of the one who sort of like oversees the political machinations of that particular city.
oh, okay.
So like a governor.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So he works in
So he
tandem with
represents the imperial like.
correct, the imperial rule essentially
Yeah.
here. Yep.
So we should learn more
So
about
it's the
him.
Starosta and the Ring of Three is like the local government.
Very well. Then we need to...
Was that a yes, Robbie?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
What you learned is that Baisetal's government is based around 3 elders called the Ring of Three, who come from the noble houses of Baisetal, and they kind of, rule isn't really, the right thing. They're basically like the council, if you will, that while also working through the noble houses are the ones who basically help to sort of run and make all the big decisions. And the Starosta was sent from the Empire to also see over that. So the four of them together kind of are the ones that are governing the city.
Ah, gotcha. So I could essentially present myself to the mayor dude and the Ring of Three as like, an emissary of my city, to like basically be like, hey, like I'm like venturing out into our new potential like allies, the Empire. I want to see how you guys treat the elves, like the elves, because I'm an elf. There you go.
I think that's a lovely idea.
Yeah, that's as good a start as any. I like it.
Wait, are you royalty?
I am from a noble house, not a royal or anything.
You are nobility?
Can I insight check that?
Yeah.
Query, what is your last name?
Astoria.
Astoria?
How much, Leo?
Yes.
Trying to remember what my +4, so 19.
She seems like she's telling the truth, and as you kind of like start to think about it, the way that she acts, kind of outside in combat in the wilderness and stuff like that, it kind of makes sense that she was probably raised with a silver spoon in her mouth. Like a few pieces kind of click together for you all of a sudden.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what you want from me.
No, I think that's a lovely idea.
I mean,
good plan.
Yeah, okay. I'll dress up nice and go meet this Astoria guy tomorrow.
I think that's great. Do you know, my type seems to be much interested by scholars, so if there's anyone of that sort, I can always try to rub some elbows there, but I don't know if they have any libraries here.
Yes, drunk child.
Not a child, first of all. I'm a man. Second of all, here's the thing. If we're supposed to be enacting a great change, which is either one, stopping coup, a rebellion, whatever, or like starting it, should we be investigating in the public eye?
Well, to be fair, we were told to go to places of great change. I'm not sure we need to enact them ourselves.
And either stop it or let it happen.
But if we're going to be investigating, we're going to these places, I think that sounds like a great idea, but I think it would be kind of obvious if I was some, Crown's Guard, and I'm like, oh yeah, so what's going on? Well, these newcomers came to town, and then shit started going down. Like, oh, who are these newcomers? Well, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I mean, we already sunk that boat because of Leo.
And even before that, when we saved the front of their town.
Yeah, we showed up out of nowhere and
saved
them. So I think maybe though, why not do both? Like, why not kind of divide our efforts there? Like, I'm not going to be able to serve much in the way of nobility, but I do know about talking to guards, adventurers, and the sort. I could go down and talk to the local guilds, see if we can find out anything that way.
Perhaps if we drum it up enough, I could kind of act as a diversion, if they're too busy trying to impress me, their awareness will be elsewhere while you guys can get in the down and dirty. I don't know.
I mean, if you can impress them, then I'll more for it.
That better, yeah.
While you two engage in deception, as it were.
And I just look at Leaf.
This is our calling.
It's our time to shine.
Okay.
Do you guys even know Thieves' Camp? Do you know the underbelly?
Yeah.
No, you better go with them.
All right, so Leo, Kieran, and Leaf will handle, and I'll go with them too. So we'll handle the underbelly of Bisetile, while Maeve and Hermia present themselves to the nobility tomorrow.
Aw, you think I can pass this nobility? That's kind of you.
You're lovely enough. I don't see why not.
You could
You
at least
certainly
be
have
the
better
servant to
manners.
nobility.
What'd you say, Leaf?
You could at least pose as a servant to nobility.
Okay,
That
that's
is true.
rude, Leaf.
It's fine. Trust
It's
me.
not inaccurate though.
I know my way around leadership, but I don't think this is the same kind of leadership. But I know how to act kindly.
Just
Alright.
gotta suck up to them.
Trust me, I know that road.
Well, it's as good a
Yeah.
plan as we've had so far, so I'm into it.
This one is still concerned. This one would rather if Rosalind would go with Hermia and Maeve. This way, the parties are split evenly.
I mean, we did.
That's fair.
Speaking to of like
Boys'
past
night.
experiences,
Boys, night. Boy,
There- it would be more believable if we had an armed escort, someone who looked the part. And Maeve, while she does kick ass, like I'm not sure if they'll believe her. Like I know she's fierce, but I'm not sure if they'll buy it.
Fair enough.
Make it work.
Well,
Leaf
like I
is
said,
going to lean over to Kieran and not whisper and say, "Deception works a lot better when you don't say deception beforehand."
that is true.
High five.
Kieran, you can take 2 inspiration.
Yes, you get 2.
Now Kira dropped a tier 2 sub and said, and I quote, inspo. Well, she said inspo to Hermia, but she meant Kieran. Baby boy needs it for the hangover.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Well, I
know.
just
Thank
feel
you.
bad about myself now.
Is that my Advil?
Yeah, 2 inspo. Those are your Advil to get through the hangover.
Well, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to my room.
Yeah.
Just be up for the meeting with Etricol in the morning.
Right out.
Got it. Now get out of our room. I'm kidding.
No,
You-
really,
you can
get out.
you can stand by. No, really, get out. That's
please,
absolutely.
please. I meant not so rudely. Please get out.
But
I just
I-
fell asleep on the
I
bed
thought we were
there.
having a party though. You guys
You can have a party with Leaf.
We could do truth or dare or more. Well, what the fuck is up with that?
This one likes what the fuck is up with that.
Yeah. Come on, it's our first big night in town.
We could also somehow turn it into a drinking game.
Oh boy.
I'm
Yes!
gonna say no to the drinking game.
All right, we can play a round of what the fuck is up with that if you
Yeah!
want.
One round.
All right.
Everyone gets one
God.
question and answers a question.
I hold my hand up to Leaf for a high five.
High five.
Does he actually high five me or he just says it?
No, it holds its hands up and says 5 digits. Slaps.
I picture Leaf as just the Nathan Pyle comics about the aliens who say things in literal language.
Yes!
That's how I picture Leaf.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, Kieran, you want to play?
You
You
can-
start off. Pick someone and ask a question.
And then they all have to ask a question.
Oh fuck! All right.
You wanted to play.
Yeah, you're right.
This one will go get drinks from the bar.
No.
Great
Okay.
idea,
You'll.
No.
No.
Leaf is already gone.
Oh God.
Okay. Well,
God.
have fun.
5 silver for if you're bringing a round back for everybody, Leaf.
Yep, around
Well, hold on. What are you getting?
6 bottles.
Are you getting just like basic stuff, or are you getting like Lucky Kieran's?
Lucky Kieran's,
All
yeah.
right, 5.
Yeah.
Lucky Kieran's all around.
1 gold for each drink that you bring back.
Oh my God.
Okay. I tip him a gold as well. So is that 7 gold?
Yep.
Yep.
Is there 5 of us? Okay.
There's 6 of us plus, yeah.
Plus you if you're drinking as well.
I mean, I bring one up, but I'm not,
Yeah, of course.
I just kind of leave it on my head.
Festive, I guess.
All right, Kieran.
You're up.
Okay. So Roslyn.
Yeah.
I just pop squat, applesauce crisscross, and I just like lean over, look at you, deep stare into your eyes. I'm like, what the fuck is up with Mira?
Wow.
Wow. All
She
right.
Oh yeah.
she blushes red for a moment. All right.
Yeah.
Fine. She does take the drink from Leaf at that point and just does like half of it in one go, forgetting that it's not good when you chug it. Okay.
It is at first because you get a mouthful of sugar, but then the
Yeah.
sugar's all gone and it's basically just like hard liquor at that point.
It's just hard liquor after that. I mean, it's made with rum, isn't it? So it's still mostly sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she notes. Okay. When I was 14, a young tabaxi broke into the Fortuneer's home and tried to make off with some of my mother's things. She was caught, and my father decided that she shouldn't be sent into the guards, that anyone bold enough to assault the home of the Fortuneers, as he put it, was worth keeping around. And I had been asking for my own group to lead, and he thought as a decent test, I would start by having to teach her. And that was Mira. And that's how we met. And we adventured together ever since then, basically, and gotten close, you would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, as you found out in our weird dream snafu, yes, we've been together.
Like
And,
still together, or it's complicated?
well, right before I came here, actually, she had asked me to meet her, and I'm pretty certain was going to tell me how she felt about me. And before she could, a portal opened beneath my feet, and I was here.
Oh,
That is ironic.
Yes, it's almost like a hack writer created it.
Wow.
So yeah, that's what's up. What the fuck is up with that?
so are you jelly now, this assassin?
Oh,
She gives
You
a
only-
harder look at that.
don't we only get one question?
Yeah.
She's not. She keeps answering, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep asking.
Here we go.
It's, as you say, complicated. Anyway, all right. Leo, you
Oh,
are you are one of the grouchiest people I have ever known, and I have known a few. You are I would say questionable when it comes to the law, and yet you are incredibly nice to your sister and her girlfriend. What the fuck is up with that relationship there?
Oh, I mean, they love each other. That's
No. I mean your relationship to them. You don't seem the family type.
I mean, like my work kind of pulled me away from her for the longest time, so like I'm kind of making up for lost time. If that makes any sense.
Maeve shifts uncomfortably.
And like I'm trying to turn a new leaf, so like I'm not as apprehensive about being around family as much as possible now. I also want to see her like be happy and live a life that I didn't,
Not gonna
because
happen.
like she was gonna.
Sorry, keep going.
Wow.
I quit. Bye. But no. Other than that, like, I don't really want to go too much into my past to give you context for that.
Fair enough. All right. Well, take it from me. Triv is. If you don't like her now, she's never going to be better.
I mean, Triv has her ups and downs, but
Mm-hmm.
she
Most
still, like, unabashedly loves my sister, so as long as she protects her, like, we have no beef.
Fair enough. Thank you. Appreciate you sharing.
Which one of you? Okay, child. Why do you lie about your age?
I don't lie.
You do, actually.
No, I'm 22.
Well, there's another note. That's
I'm
another
gonna
number.
insight check that.
Okay, roll an insight.
I don't think Kieran even knows their own age.
I purposely roll
Okay,
at
16
disadvantage.
plus 4.
Kieran, go ahead and roll a dice, add a modifier to it. Let me know what the result is. You say 24, Leo?
16 plus 4.
Okay, so dirty 20.
That's an 11.
Okay. I mean, looking at Kieran, obviously he's not
Obviously.
22. But there's something else there. This isn't just a matter of them trying to convince you that obviously a 16-year-old is 22. You're not sure what it is, but it seems like there's more there than just lying to get drinks.
Alright. I'll rephrase my question, Kieran. Why are you peddling around as a 22-year-old to get what you want?
Well... Sorry, no, we don't need any housekeeping, thank you.
Sorry.
I'm not lying, first of all, and I'm not peddling. I don't peddle, okay? I perform, first of all. However, say if I needed to, because I had to. I mean, I don't really know if I need to explain this to you, Leo, but it's harder out there by yourself.
Yeah, I understand that.
So yeah, I'm 22, so that's not my it's not the situation at all anyway. So
All right. Well, Kieran's already asked a question, so one of you three.
This one has a question.
All right, Leaf, you're up.
Query. Hermia,
What?
you are nobility from the Feywild. You also own a dark, sinister-looking sword that talks to you. Also, you appear to have little to no combat training whatsoever.
Where's
Kinda
the
rude.
Why the
question?
fuck are up with that?
Well,
yes, why the
That's
fuck
not even
are
a
up with that?
question.
Answer the question.
It wasn't a question.
I believe the question is: you're here despite not having a lot of combat training, and yet you have a talking sword, and you are able to wield it. What the fuck is up with that? How'd that
I thought
come
I
about?
already answered this the last time we played.
I don't think so. I don't remember what your
Or
question
maybe
was.
I
last
just
time.
told Maeve.
I think you just
maybe
told
Yeah,
told
I think
Maeve.
this is maybe on a conversation you had with Maeve.
Yeah. Maeve over here being like, I know all y'all secrets. What the hell? I'm just kidding.
I mean, I ran away from home.
Query. Why?
To look for my brother.
What happened to your brother?
He disappeared.
Oh, that's so sad.
I'm sorry. He's in this realm, or do you know?
I know he's somewhere here. We're twins. So it's just a feeling, you know? I just know.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. All right. Then we'll
Do
find
you
him.
think something sinister has happened to him, or maybe he has just ran away from home as well?
I don't think he left. Like, I'm honestly not sure. I know he's not in danger, but I just gotta find him.
Is his name Hermio?
No.
Query. What is your brother's name?
His name is Leander.
Oh, I love that name. All right, Hermia, your question.
One more query.
Oh God.
What, Lee?
Does Leander also have a possibly demonic sword talking to him?
No.
Just wondering if that runs in the family.
Oh my God.
How would that run in the family?
Heirlooms, perhaps?
This one is not sure of how the Feywild works.
My parents would
It
never
is
give
heard
me
that
a
it's a
family
mysterious
heirloom.
place.
Got it.
I was thinking he was thinking you were like born with the sword, so
Well,
That's odd.
That would hurt.
yes. Well, then
Yeah.
by my math, Hermia, you have a question for Maeve, and then Maeve has Leaf.
I mean, I don't. Me and Maeve have already talked, so like, I feel like I don't
Ask.
know. I don't have anything to ask her. She's been very forthcoming.
Fair enough. Then I've got a question for her. I'm sorry if I get this wrong. The Pallid Elves, is it?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Heard you talking about your time with raising the wolf, and obviously didn't end up the best. Although we have Luster now because of that.
Yes.
But I don't know any. I've never heard of Pallid Elves. I've heard of Drow. I've heard of a number of different kinds of elves. I know obviously Hermia is Eladrin. Pallid Elves. What the fuck is up with that?
Well, I will give you the short version. Side note, Robbie, if I mess something up, please let me know.
Sure thing.
A long, long time ago, our
In a galaxy far, far away.
our group of people were in danger. Robbie, what's the name of the bad guy? I'm so sorry.
So during the Cataclysm, or post-Divergence, when the gods still roamed the earth and went to war with each other with the mortals, a group of elves were forced underground, and they
that's what I was
became
gonna
known
say.
as the Pallid Elves. They were down there for 500-600 years, and always at odds and in danger of being devoured by the Crawling King, who
Thank you.
was
I couldn't
one
think
of
of his
the
name.
betrayer gods.
And the Moonweaver, the goddess we worship, is the reason that we were saved and underground. That was our.
That
home-
was. I'm sorry to interrupt. That was your goddess of trysts and lovers, right?
Yes, and of
Nice.
shadows in the moon.
Just checking.
And that was our home for the longest time. That is where my parents were born. It's where my sister was born.
Fascinating.
50 years ago, we decided to go above ground for the first time since that occurred. I was one of the first groups of children to be born above, so to speak.
So you weren't born in the underground.
I was not, no. That's my young age. I was born above, as were a group of us. It's always been a bit strange, I will admit. Our bodies were more attuned, I think, to be underground. I sometimes still have harder time with brighter lights, even though I was born in the sun, under the sun. But yes, and since then we have attempted to stake out and discover the Empire at large. The Menagerie Coast is mostly where our people have gone and taken to others, but
Got it.
well, I know my sister has certainly come around down to the Empire, and here I am.
Fascinating. All right, you get to wrap it up. Question to Leaf.
All right, Leaf, you are an automatron who can turn into animals. What the fuck is up with that?
I like how all 6 of us asked that question differently. By the way.
I know, I forgot how to say it. I don't normally use the F word like that, so my brain doesn't know.
This one was created by the creator for specific purposes, dealing with floral and fauna. This one is not sure its own creation or genetical makeup. However, the creator, in their wonderful glory and immense knowledge, was able to create this one with the ability to morph its alloys into whatever purpose it needs fit.
Fascinating.
He doesn't know.
This one just does it. Sorry, this one has no better answer.
No, that's perfectly fine. I didn't even really know how it worked, so that was interesting enough for me.
I can suddenly make my sword glow. I couldn't do that before.
This one is looking for its creator. Once this one finds creator, this one will be sure to ask. One is always looking to understand oneself and one's own ability.
Ain't that the truth? What's your creator's name?
Creator's name. Name. And you just
broke
see
him,
Leaf
Roz.
kind of fall over on its side, and like
Reasonable
Oh,
a
question.
little smoke comes out of its
Trying to do
arcane
something.
That's not
receptors.
good.
Rosalind looks mortified. Like, what? I'm sorry. I thought it was a reasonable question.
Aaron starts to do CPR on Leaf. Leaf, come back!
I don't.
Describe CPR on Leaf, who notably has no mouth and not much
I
of
think-
a chest cavity.
I think
By the way,
he's
I love
doing it,
Juxta
yeah.
like yelling at anyone while holding food on a fork.
A fucking ravioli.
Hey, pierogi.
Same thing. It's just
Sorry.
made with potato.
Yeah, so Kieran, describe to us what you do to Leaf.
So
That's a sentence I don't wanna
he just
hear.
flings himself onto Leaf, and he's just like looking for anything that looks like a mouth hole. Yeah.
Don't find one.
We've all been there before, right?
What?
And
I've never
does-
been that drunk.
He does not know CPR, so he's just banging on his chest like, Leaf, come back!
Greetings, everyone. How is everyone doing today?
Rosalind is like, I'm so sorry.
Leaf, what are you okay?
This one is fine. Has everyone enjoyed their stasis today?
We didn't go to sleep yet.
Oh.
You took a quick 5-minute stasis.
Understandable. Many will call that as a cat stasis.
Cat stasis, understood. She seems to think about that. Tabaxi stasis? Alright. Well,
Wait. Hermia didn't get to ask a question though.
she didn't think
mean,
of one.
She couldn't think of one for
Well,
me.
not for
'cause I
Maeve
was the
anyway. Yeah,
I was
Hermie,
the
do you have someone
logical
else
one.
you'd like to ask something?
I have okay. Kieran, what did you do to that Balthazar guy? Like, why did he hate you so much?
Oh, Barney?
Actually, yeah, I
Good
would also like
query.
to know what the fuck is up with that.
Oh man, me and Barty, we go long way back. He's one of my best buds, for sure. Leaf, you're still my best guy though, so don't get that twisted.
Does he know that? Is he aware that
Oh,
he's one of your best
absolutely.
buds? Okay.
Yeah. So I remember we first met, and he was doing his brand show, you know, with the cart and everything, and the wagon.
Right.
You know, it could use some work, but it's a good show. And so I was like really inspired by this. I was like, oh my goodness! And I was like, you know how like musicians kind of riff off of each other and like do that thing. Well, I was like, oh, I should do that with my tricks and stuff. And then and then his crowd started coming to me, and then. You know, and I was like, oh, this is so great. We're both making money. And then, you know, he was a little, he was pretty excited about it. He was just
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I'm
it
sure
was
he
really
raised his
loud.
voice.
Oh, he raised his voice. I really couldn't hear him because, you know, of all the applause and everything. So I just assumed he was, you know, applauding with them and everything. And then, you know, I was just like, wow, like, and I told him, like, we make a really great, you know, tag team. So I just started going to wherever he was going and then, you know, made great money. So.
Image becoming clearer. Got it.
Suddenly it makes sense.
Ah.
We're best buds. for
Understood. That one is a dick.
sure. No, he's not a dick. No.
I don't think she was talking about Barty.
This one was talking about Barty.
Oh,
See?
well then.
Best friend Kieran was just trying
Exactly.
to
You can't break us
Ex-
up.
extend a good friendship and a riff. And Barty was mean.
He didn't like competition.
Yeah, he can't. Some people can't handle it.
Yeah, I usually killed my competition.
It's like I just look at
Rosalind
Leo.
just looks at Leo.
Killed competition.
What?
I'm just stoically looking at her like,
If I killed
yeah.
competition, I'd be hung as a murderer. What?
Oh. Okay. Well, that's a lot.
It is.
Anyway, this has been another wonderful game of What the Fuck Is Up With That, and I'd like for it to be over now.
All right.
Same.
Everyone get out.
Boom. You have your own rooms.
I take all the unfinished Lucky Kierans.
Yeah.
Take it with me.
Kieran,
and leave.
Oh,
make
God.
a Constitution saving throw.
I was gonna
Oh,
say you are not about to get your long rest.
You're gonna die of alcohol poisoning.
Oh, jeez, what a way to go. Do you get death saving throw still?
4.
At least
Okay, so Kieran has finished off his second lucky Kieran, and as everyone is leaving, she's starting to gather up those that are still half full or maybe a quarter full, and picks up Roz's and goes to take a drink, just sniffing. There's no sugar in this one. It's just pure alcohol, and just the whiff at that moment, for some reason, triggers it, and you
God.
vomit all over the floor.
No, we have to sleep in here.
I vote that Leaf and Kieran stay here.
God. Rosalind
man.
actually kind of gives a sympathetic look to Kieran because she's been there.
Leaf will
she-
just pretty hardly pats his back as it's coming out.
Oh God.
Okay. All right.
After Kieran has
Finished.
emptied, Rosalind's gonna
it's over
kinda,
pretty quickly.
Yeah, Rosalind's gonna give like a look to Maeve and like look to Kieran. Hey Kieran, let's take you down to the restroom and get
Yeah.
you cleaned up. Yeah?
I think that's a good idea.
This isn't as fun as I thought it'd be.
No,
No,
I know.
it's certainly
Just
not.
here, just come with me, and she's gonna try and escort Kieran out to go get cleaned up.
All right. Let's just get this cleaned up. Leaf, can you help, please?
Yes. What do you require?
can you turn
This-
into a
it's
dog and eat
cute.
that?
I don't know. Okay, that's not what I was going for.
What did
Kieran
he
immediately, or not Kieran, sorry, Leaf immediately turns into
Oh no.
Robo Leaf
Oh,
and just starts smashing
No.
its face
No.
into the vomit because it can't eat because its face is.
But
Oh,
you
what
do.
is
But you do.
happening?
Shh, quiet for a
Okay.
moment. Quiet for a moment. But you do notice as Leaf is dragging its face around, it is absorbing,
okay. Is it
and,
actually coming off the ground?
and it works. It works.
Cool. Leaf, you can leave now. Thank you for
Rosa,
your
It
service.
looks up
Hold
and
on.
there's just like chunks and slime
Oh.
coming down. It's like,
All right.
Oh,
All right.
Rosalind.
Content warning.
Rosalind.
Yeah,
Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
I left with Kieran. No.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, Callie might need to make a
Oh my
con
God.
saving throw, but Rosalind left.
Okay. Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna cry laughing. Oh my
So-
god.
All right.
Everybody ends up making it back to their rooms for the night
Thank God.
and goes
I
to
don't-
sleep.
Roz, I know I promised I'd sleep on the floor, but I don't know if I want to do that
No.
anymore.
We should
Hey.
just all sleep on the bed. I'll light a scented candle.
We got 2 beds. We got this.
Yeah, listen, it's fine. I've shared a bed before. Let's go.
Yeah. So everyone finds sleep for the night. Leo. No, sorry, not Leo. Leaf. As you are standing in whichever room it is that you are with your stasis.
Leaf is literally standing over top, not standing over top, but like standing facing Kieran's bed, just motionless, staring at the wall.
Yep. Like you do most nights when you have stasis. Something that you've never experienced happens though. You're staring at the wall, and then suddenly you're inside a completely different place. Looking around, you are in a shop of some kind. There are trinkets, potions, poisons, vials, and doodads as far as the eye can see. The floor seems to be made of a weird crystal-like substance, and as you look around, there are large pillars that stretch up into darkness above you. You see stars dotting it. There are long drapes of silk and curtains all over the place. You see a small, petite, almost mouse-like looking woman sitting behind a stool, behind a counter, who's looking over at you eagerly as you look around. You are so hungry. Like, you haven't eaten. And it's a weird sensation. One that you've never felt before. But hunger suddenly takes you. And the woman says, "Anything in here? Whatever you want, it's yours, but a hearty meal is one of them if you'd like." But before you have a chance to answer, something catches your eye. And there's a curiosity within you that draws you towards it. Kieran, will you please describe what the card case looks like?
So it's a dark wood box that has like golden inlay of ornate designs that very, very exotic with some leaf motifs, and you can kind of see like embedded in them. There's like what, and maybe Leaf would know if he were awake, but what looked to be like runes or like magical characters of some degree. And in the center of it, there's just what looks to be not a gem, but just a diamond shape of dark glass embedded in the face of it.
And you can also see down in one of the corners what looks to be a white dragon, and then up in the top corner opposite that, a firebird, a phoenix of some sort.
How far away is it from me?
10 feet. Everything else in the room just seems to sort of melt away, and that's the only thing that you can focus on.
I'm going to walk over to it.
It sits before you, sparkling. It sits before you, just sparkling.
I'm going to reach out and pick it up. And then do I notice that my hands are hands and not metal?
Yep.
I'm going to stop and turn my hands around and look at them. And then I'm going to feel my hands. And I'm going to just soft. And then I'm going to stop and just start making weird mouth motions.
And noises, yeah.
Query, what is this? What is this place?
This is the shop with no name, my dear. You stumbled in, it always finds its place to those who need it. It seems you've found your item?
This one desperately needs this.
Well, as I said, you are welcome to any one thing in here, but I must warn you that as innocuous as that small deck of cards may seem, it is powerful and brings only ruin to those who don't know how to wield its power. Sure you wouldn't like a hearty meal instead?
Query, is it possible to learn this power?
All things are possible.
What is your name?
I've gone by many names, but you can call me Hilda.
Leaf is going to pick up the deck of cards and feel it.
It's warm. There's almost a vibration, electricity that comes from it. You can feel the power emanating off of it.
This one did not pick this deck of cards. this deck of cards has picked this one.
Well, then your choice has been made. I wish you luck and fortune.
Leaf. What's that?
She says, I wish you luck and fortune.
Leaf is going to look for his pockets for anything.
And as you
Is there anything?
You realize you're back in the inn room. And you're looking down with your arms again, feeling around your own robes.
Query, Hilda, where are you?
Does that
Have
wake
I
me up?
No response.
have I seen that deck of cards used by
Kieran, you have.
Kieran?
Mhm.
Do I still feel the same desire for that deck of cards?
You do not. You can recall the feeling, but you don't actively
but
feel
I
it.
I don't actively. Okay. What time does it look like it's outside?
Somewhere still in the middle of the night. There's no sign of the sun coming up yet.
Leaf
And
is going
Kieran
to.
is passed the fuck out, by the way.
Leaf is going to walk over to the bed and stand like directly over Kieran, and just take its hand and just start slapping Kieran's face over.
Yep, you wake up, Kieran.
What? Leave? Oh, what's wrong?
Warning! This one had a strange vision of some sort.
Okay.
This one was
Smack me.
to remove you from stasis.
Yeah, but you don't have to beat the shit out of me. You could just be like, hey, bud.
Oh, in this one's experience, it requires many slaps to wake one that has been, quote, under the influence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have
Maybe.
a splitting headache, by the way, Kieran.
Yeah, it's just next time, bud, just don't do that, because now everything's ringing. What's up?
This
Are you
one,
okay?
this one was transported magically through arcane means to the shop with no name, and this one has met Hilda, and this one was going to acquire a deck very similar to yours,
Karen just goes pale.
and then this one was going to hold and acquire the deck in its hands, was suddenly in the room again.
Oh,
Did you feel any arcane presence in the room while you slept?
no, I didn't feel anything. But, bud, I think what you had,
Do you think there may be a portal in this room somewhere?
No, I don't think there's any portal. I think you had something called a dream.
Ha ha ha. Automatons do not dream, silly Kieran. You are funny, and it slaps Kieran on the back pretty hard.
Oh, please, I'm pretty sensitive right now. Still, please. No, but I think you did. I mean, elves, they don't really dream, but Hermia and Maeve, they've had dreams, right?
Interesting. This one should talk it over with the elves later.
So, actually, though, I don't think you need to.
Confused.
There's no, it's just, I don't think... I mean, I think what you had was just, like, a regular dream. I don't think that you really need to share that with anyone.
Query. May I see the deck that you have?
Look, it's getting pretty late.
Understood. And Leaf is just going to cast a like a druid. Where's my fucking spells? There they are. I'm just going to like druid craft like this bright light to illuminate the room.
Okay.
There we go.
That's
It is
even
light,
worse.
but there
no,
it is late,
okay.
but now you can see.
Okay, yes, no, I could see before. Just stop. I can see in the dark. Leaf, please. This is worse. Please turn it off.
Oh,
Look, no, it would really mean a lot to me. You just didn't tell anyone about having a dream. Can you... It's like one of our games, right? Can you engage in deception on this? For me? For your buddy?
You don't want this one to explore the concept of automaton dreams?
I do! Absolutely! I do! I don't want
This
you...
this one requires more information about
Yeah.
the concept of dreams.
Yeah, and hey, you know what? I sleep every fucking day, so I can give you whatever information that you need about dreams. But just that one in particular, I just really, really need you not to share that with anyone.
Query. This one will do this. But why? What the fuck is up with that?
I just, I think you had a dream about my past life. And...
Past life?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, you know, like I had a dream about the assassin and the others had dreams about each other, right? Someone had a dream about your life.
Incorrect. No one has had a dream about my life. That would be illogical.
may have not shared that.
Hermia
me, it was
did not
Hermia.
share that, no.
I also did not.
Oh, shit. Never mind.
I also did not share a dream though. So we've all been hiding dreams, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well,
Um,
apparently only Roz has been sharing, and me have been sharing the fact that we've had
I was
dreams
like-
about each other's lives. And you know what? I think you have one about mine. And
Query. How many lives have you had?
I only got this one, bud. I only got this one. I'm just saying in the past. In the past, you saw something. And I would really appreciate it if it was just kept between you and me.
Slyly. This one will keep this as a secret, but you must share the reason why you want it a secret.
It would have been easier with any one of us, Kieran.
I know, right? I know, right?
The irony.
It's like you're lying to your kid about like Santa Claus, and they start asking all these questions. You're like,
I
no,
know.
he's real. And he's like, but does he really come down the chimney? You're like, yes. Stop asking questions. Just leave. I get very serious. I just need you to trust me. You trust me?
This one trusts you?
And yeah, have my back on this. It's just my, my personal life, and I don't want that shared with everyone, you know?
Query. Will you share your past life with this one? Best friend.
Yeah. Of course. course.
Okay. And he walks back into the corner and just stasis down again.
Kieran, just still splitting headache, just like sighs and sinks into his bed, staring at the ceiling like...
You hear in your head, Kieran, Gil's voice faintly. That was well handled.
I'm just smiling like, was it really though? I don't know.
All right, well, with that, everyone eventually finishes their long rest, and you all wake up in the morning.
I have a
Yes!
week-long power that finally reignited.
It did. Technically, everyone has that ability. You
True,
you
everyone
share
does,
it.
actually. Ah, okay. So each of us can give it a shot if we wish.
Hold on, you say we share it, so only one...
Mm-hmm.
If,
I think only one
If
can
one
succeed.
person uses it, it's on cooldown for everybody.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay. I thought it was separate cooldowns. Did not know that. Thank you.
Nope.
Roki. Pierogi slap.
So, as you are all beginning to wake up, Leo, there is a knock on your door.
Oh god. I go and open the door.
Standing
Oh,
there
God.
is Etrical, and behind him you see one of the person that you recognize, the other elf from the battle, Fenta, female, standing beside him, and then another one beside him who you don't recognize, another male elf with long raven-colored hair. Leo, if you would gather up the rest of the second chances so that we may talk.
Oops.
Yep. And I just send a message to Maeve and one to Kieran. It's like, wake up, maybe downstairs. Right
All
now.
right.
Oh, right, that's in your head. So yeah, so as you're seeing this, he says, exchanges a few words with the other two, and you watch as Fenta goes and stands at the top of the stairs. The other one heads downstairs.
All right. Maeve is definitely already awake, and I'm guessing the other two are not. So she will wake the others up.
Oh.
At
Yes,
least,
sorry.
It's okay. Leo says that they're here for us.
Like we're under arrest?
No, I didn't get that impression.
Oh,
Just,
okay.
you know, they're here to talk.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. She gets up and quickly finishes, puts on her jacket and stuff and gets ready.
Hermia? Hermia. I know you're
Wanna.
awake. I know you don't wanna. Your meditation was over 4 hours ago.
I
Come on.
like sleep. I told you.
I know you like sleep, but it's time to get up.
I love that Hermia only needs 4 hours and still uses the full 8.
that was it, right?
Yes. Yes. That's
Oh.
Hermia's hobby is sleeping.
Hobby. I
Yep.
love it.
So, as you all start to come out into the hall, Etra's like, we can have this meeting up here. I realize the setting is perhaps a bit informal, but there's already plenty of people downstairs that do not need to be privy to this conversation. So
Maybe not our room. I don't know if it still smells.
Ugh, it
he gives you a concerned look, like, okay.
like, what are you doing in there? She just puts up a hand like,
Don't worry about it.
Right. So he leads you
Leo?
back into Leo's room.
Okay.
Shuts the door behind everyone and kind of stands there. So, I'm not sure how much Leo told you about our small discussion last night, but I'm going to go ahead and jump right to the point here. Why is it that a group of Empire-born are here in Tile? And if you could bypass the generic to enact great change speech that I was given, I would appreciate it.
Hermia raises her hand. I'm not Empire born.
neither am I.
Neither am I, technically.
This
Fair
one,
enough, but you're also not from
Maybe-
Tile.
No, that's
No,
true. Rosalind kind of like glances around the room. Very well. We were informed that change would be, or something that would enact great change is going to happen in Tile. We were not given instructions on whether or not to support that, but as it is our charge to be in places where that happens.
Charged by
Oh.
who?
I'd be lying to tell you I know him. So, a benefactor who presented himself to us very mysteriously, very quietly.
Is this something we share?
Does he have a
Something
name?
something Rosalind's sharing.
He went by Mr. Black.
I mean, this is. See what happens.
And so this mysterious benefactor told you to come to Baisei Tile to enact great change.
No, to witness great change, whether we choose to enact or fight against it.
What change?
We believe there is going to be. Could you sound more nervous there?
I didn't say anything.
You were breathing in my ear.
Oh, sorry.
We believe that someone here is in danger. Now, admittedly, we got here to find trains attacking you, so that may be all that's in reference to.
Indeed.
Someone's in danger.
Query: Why were the
Infuriating, isn't it?
treants attacking you?
That's something that happens on a somewhat regular basis. We believe leftover cursed fauna from the Savalier Wood. So, I doubt it.
Then we don't yet know. I wish I could tell you why we're here exactly. I wish I could tell you why I'm anywhere exactly, but I don't know.
You have to understand that from my point, groups such as yourself, skilled, well-armed, shows up out of the blue, saves us, which I am thankful for, by the way, saving the lives of my men. And then you just want to hang out and wait for some great change to happen. You will forgive me if I'm a bit suspicious.
Reasonably so. You would probably be less suspicious if we had better answers for you.
True. Do you?
No, I wish I did.
Well,
If I had any answers about this place in general.
Well, then, I'm
Wish he was
afraid your benefactor is going to be perhaps a bit disappointed. If you have no solid business here in Baisei Tile, then on behalf of the Baisei Tile Guardian Force, I'm going to ask that you leave this morning. We can have your horses and your cart ready for you. We will provide enough rations to get you back to Odessalo.
What if we can prove that there's something that's going to happen?
And how would you do that when you don't even know what this something is?
Give us a day. If by next morning we don't have anything, any inkling of anything bad to happen, then we'll leave.
And you, being strangers to the city, with no connections, how do you propose that you're going to accomplish this?
I have confidence in us, unless you are proposing something else.
No, it's just that let's make friends.
If
Make
you
ourselves useful
had-
to whom we can.
If you had more information to give me, perhaps you already have a friend. I'm trying my best here, but before trusting you, I do have a responsibility to my people to protect them. And you wouldn't be the first adventurers sent here from the Empire under suspicious guises. Give me a reason to trust you.
Because
I
someone
don't
important here is
speak
going
for the Empire. I speak of my home, Xanthia, and our interests in the comings and goings of what happens outside of the Feywild. My interest is of the elves and how they're treated here.
So there's Mr. Black. He is from Xanthia?
Not sure where he's from.
Were you sent with any sort of correspondence, any missives, anything that proves what you're saying is true.
About where I'm from or Mr. Black? Sorry, that was kind of out of character.
Either.
Oh, I show him my ring.
Make a persuasion check.
That is. Oh, wow. 16 plus 7.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
He takes a look at the signet ring. You have till sundown to come up with something. And then you leave under the guise of night. We will be watching.
Thank you.
And he leaves.
Well, time is of the essence then. I say we get right to it.
Indeed, we need to find
Hermia, you
something.
fucking saved us! Holy shit!
Very well
Yeah.
done, Hermia.
Yes.
You guys put me in the worst position.
I know. Why
Voted
would you
Leo
guys
as
do
our
that?
spokesperson.
Why
Well,
did
no one else-
we lead with that?
Well, no one else was saying anything, and no
Why
one
you
else.
guys
Well,
are the adults?
He kind
I
of
mean, I'm an adult.
put us in a bad spot, saying that we're here for a great change.
Well,
What
they've
was I
known that since
supposed
last
to
night.
say?
True.
No, you did fine. That was really well done.
No one's. Listen, we're all rather new at this, yes? And
I
we
don't think we should advertise that we're here for great change every single time we come to a new place.
Yeah.
Well, I think once we know exactly what this means. Listen, we
No,
already know.
we cannot go around
I-
saying that we're here for great change in a place of political unrest. That is not something you do.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm
You're
saying that
so
we are.
badass right now.
I'm saying that we are all very uncertain about what any of this means. But here we are, and this is going to be quite illuminating, I think. And if this is going to be a series of things that we're doing, then we're going to have a much better story. I agree. This was not exactly the best way to lead, but I also
And
have
I
no
don't
idea.
think we should mention Mr. Black to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I agree, but we also did not come up with any kind of cover story before we did this. So let this
Well-
be maybe a lesson that we need to do that next time. But
Well,
we're
it's
here.
not even that. It's the fact that, like, it was... whatever.
It was a bad
Okay.
situation.
I'm not here to lie to everybody either, so.
Well, no, but, I mean, you wouldn't have been put in that position if Leo had, like, basically advertised that we're here for change from the get-go. We can't even paint ourselves as, like, oh, Leo. Like, he doesn't know what he's saying now.
I think we all know what our mission is before we all get split apart,
Yeah.
right?
Query.
We have till sundown.
Why did we not just say we have reason to believe there is an assassination
You
attempt?
don't say
about
that
to happen?
either. You do not say
Yeah,
That
that
seemed,
either.
less, that seemed less safe to say.
I was planning on leading with that too. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not
Please
sure if
don't.
I don't know if anything would have been much better than the other, to be honest with you. But regardless, these are the hands we have been dealt. Cards we have been dealt. I don't know metaphors. Apologies.
You know what? It's okay, Hermia. Next time, I got you. I will be the face. I will be the spokesperson, and I will. It'll be handled perfectly next time. But
Guys, just a word of with these situations, it's a performance. Kieran is absolutely right. We don't present our hand to anybody until we know for sure what's going on. And until we do, we pretend that we're supposed to be here. Not for great change, but just, hey, we're supposed to be here. We're important people.
We
Okay.
apply deception to everything.
Exactly.
yes.
Understood.
All right. Well, I think I know who will be speaking next time.
Leaf is going to walk directly up to Rosalind, somewhat uncomfortably close, and say, Query, please tell me everything you know about dreams.
Oh my god.
Rosalind looks at you and shrugs. I've never had one. I don't know.
Didn't Rosalind tell us about her dream she had?
Well, she's had the one that she had about Maeve.
Yeah.
Kalistar don't dream though.
Who the hell dreams in this party?
Everyone but me and Leaf, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the elves don't do elves.
Elves dream.
I think they
Yeah.
dream. We meditate.
They go
They
into a
get visions.
trance, but they can still dream.
Right, they can be affected by the dream
Wow.
spell. I say literally, like, I don't think me and Leaf can be like affected by like a dream spell. So because we literally don't dream.
Yeah. Elves can't be put to sleep by magical means, but they can still rest and sleep and dream.
Yeah.
You
So yeah,
spoke
she like,
of
I had one dream of Maeve, something to do with our tattoos linking us, but typically speaking, Kalistar don't dream. You'd be better off asking anyone.
who is the closest person next to Rosalind?
Maeve.
Yeah.
Leaf immediately walks over to Maeve, somewhat uncomfortably close.
Okay.
Please tell this one everything you know about dreams.
Did you have a dream, Leaf?
Dreams.
Restricted content.
Kieran just starts coughing.
Well.
Rosalind looks secured. Oh.
What,
Oh.
Sorry, just a hairball in my throat. Just look at Leaf.
well,
Leaf
I
looks
kinda
back at Kieran and nods and says, restricted content. And he immediately turns back over to Maeve.
Okay. Maeve kind of looks between this, starting to maybe get an idea, and goes, well, for a lot of people, when you sleep or enter a trance, you simply dream, which is just your mind conjuring up things. At some point, I think some of us have had visions relate to one another. Which do you mean?
This one would like all information about both kinds. Every information that you have. This one is recording everything.
Okay. I'm looking around like, do we have time for this?
No, we don't. We have till sundown. We literally don't.
How about we have this conversation at the end of the evening?
I need to borrow Kieran. I need to get ready for meeting political people, which means I need to change into
All right.
fancy clothes, shutters.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Then I'm gonna, I guess, head on out and see if I can find a local guild to chat with.
Do I need to dress up too, Hermia?
I mean, not to the extent that I am, but it just don't look dirty.
She kind of looks at her clothes. Are these considered dirty? They're
Are
adventuring
they?
clothes. They're
I mean,
adventuring clothes.
Kieran can do his thing.
Yeah. Just-
Hermia,
Just give me 30 minutes.
anybody who comes along with you could probably easily pass off as being guards or mercenaries that you were hired in your long journey to keep you safe on the road.
I guess that would be the argument
Right.
for you. But yeah. All right. Fair enough. I'll hide my dragon. Drake.
Well, I mean,
sorry.
the dragon might actually help us.
Okay. I will.
I mean, nobles
Luster-
like curiosities, so
That they do.
Luster will be on my shoulder. He is still fire type, I must say.
All right, so you're splitting into two groups. Who is going where? Hermia is leading one group to go try and talk to some nobles. Who's going with Hermia?
I'm with Hermia. I don't know. Is anybody else going with Hermia? I think there was a question of Roz going, but I don't know if you are anymore.
I think Kieran should go.
Oh, okay.
Kieran?
I guess Kieran's going with us then.
Okay.
Yeah, you know
What?
what, Hermia? I really like this side of you. No one's ever told me that I was right before. And I feel like really supported. And honestly, like you were being pretty badass in there. So
It's not
Yeah.
something I enjoy doing, but I know how to play the part.
All right.
yeah,
and
no,
then
it was cool.
Rosalind, Leaf, and Leo, you are heading in a different direction. So, is there anything else
Yep.
you wanted to discuss before the party splits?
No, I want like our separate like group, but not particularly with everybody.
Okay. All right. So, we'll go ahead and start with Hermia's group then.
So when we present ourselves to like the nobles and the politicians, they're going to bring up what Leo said. And I don't know. Kieran, we need to figure out a way to kind of like answer but not really answer. You know, distract them from the truth.
Well, distracting them is one thing, for certain. I suppose you could say that it was a cover.
No, you can't. You can't front with. You can't lie and say that. Oh no, that's a lie.
Very well.
So
Yeah, especially since 2 people have said it now. If it was just Leo, we could be like, oh, that's just Leo.
Very well.
He's just old and senile. But
I am not the
No.
charismatic one.
no, I think. Well, first off, I think we should decide who's going to be doing the most talking here. I think that's what's really important. Hermia, I think it's truly between. Well, Maeve, how confident do you feel?
In speaking, not very. I think
Not
I would.
very?
I think I would do better to look and attempt to be menacing.
you could be my teacher. You know, like at home, I had this teacher that would come in and talk to me about the comings and goings of this world. You could be like my yeah.
Does Kieran look old enough to be your teacher? I don't know if I
I
know.
mean,
you
I
for
can-
could.
elves, like it's
Okay.
anybody that yeah.
Well, no, I didn't.
mean-
I didn't know if I'd seen you shapeshift before, so that's why I was saying that.
Yeah, no, I
mean-
could, yeah.
Oh,
And plus, like, you could just say that you're a race that doesn't age. Or you choose to present yourself as younger than you really are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think we could definitely do something, and I could be
So
like
that
your-
way, if I fumble, you could be like, oh, I'm teaching her the ways of, how life is outside of the Feywild.
Yes. Yeah, no, I think that would be great. Should I also be an elf? Should we be a trio of elves?
I mean, if you would like to.
I think that would make sense. You could look old and wizened if you can change your looks, which apparently is something.
Oh
I'm
no,
willing to accept
no,
now.
elves never look old. All the good ones look super.
Well,
like-
yes, that's fair.
Oh
young
yeah, they're
and well
super
put.
hot in their old age.
That's
Yes.
A lot of wrinkle in sight.
Nope.
All right, so you are all going to attempt to head where? What exactly are you looking to do as you leave Melora's Tears?
I would kind of like to meet. What was it called again?
You want to try and
Sorry.
meet the Starosta?
Like the Starosta or the Ring of Three, and just kind of like ask them about like, how the city runs. Like with
sure.
the elven traditions
Okay, so
and all that.
Since all of you are elven in nature, it is actually pretty easy for you to make your way around. I will note that you are being followed by 2 bisexual guardians. They are not trying to make an effort that they are tailing you. They are constantly like 50 feet behind you, following you.
Yeah. We're not gonna act like we're bothered by
Sure.
it. Hermia is used to being followed by guards and shit to make sure that she doesn't make a break for it.
Kieran's gonna whisper to both of you separately. This might be an issue because I can't do my spell in front of them.
I assume you changed before you
Yeah.
left. the-
Yeah.
We assumed
Okay.
you already
The tavern.
changed.
Okay.
Don't worry, Robbie was nice.
So you are able to actually pretty easily make your way up into the upper the treetops of Bisay Tile. Since you all look elven, you're pretty much in place as you are. And asking around a little bit, you do find your way to the Tower of Three, which is where the majority of the machinations of the Ring of Three and other sort of political entities happen. So walking up to it, you see this massive tree that even down below it, there doesn't really seem to be like any other trees around it. It rises higher than the rest of the treetops around it. There are several of these sort of bridges that go from the other trees and other buildings around it up to it. And you see like gardens down below. You see the streets and sort of the cobblestones and paths with no snow on them since they are warmed and they kind of are constantly free as a result. But it's just this sort of beautiful winter wonderland of a garden that stretches out from the trunk of this below all of these bridges that lead up to the Tower of Three. So as you approach it, you are stopped by 2 Crownsguard that are out front of it that hold up their hand and go, "Halt! What business do you have here at the Tower of Three?"
We were hoping to speak. Oh crap! I as soon as I look away from it, my mind's like forgets what I just looked at.
Here, this is the person you're looking to get.
Yeah. We're going. I'm hoping to speak with the Starosta Uther Prent to just discuss the city's rulings, like how it functions, with the with the elven background and culture, underneath the Empire's rule. I am so sorry.
The two
I
of them
cannot words
kind
right
of
now.
look at each other a bit, then look back to you. Do you have an appointment?
What the madam is trying to say is that she would like an audience with the Starosta Uther Prent. She said she is acting as emissary for the elven kind here in
Hey,
Bicetag.
knife ears. We got ears too. We heard her. Do you have
Years.
an appointment?
Aren't they elves?
No, these are Crownsguard. They're actually 2 humans.
Oh!
Oh, I was like, are they using an elven slur against other
Sorry.
elves?
Yeah,
as
I'm
well?
just really confused.
Yeah, sorry. The Crownsguard that you've seen here, even those out front in the battle, haven't been elves. They've been humans and dwarves.
I think you'll find that the Astoria family does not need an appointment with their fellow elves.
Oh. Well, that may be the case, but if you're looking to talk to Starosta Uther Prent, who is not an elf, you need an appointment.
What about the Ring of Three?
Sure. Head on in and talk to the one at the front desk. We'll see if they have any room opened up for you.
Thank you.
Well, that answers some questions.
And you hear them mutter under their breath, "I thought they're supposed to have superior hearing." So heading inside, very much like when you were inside the inn earlier, the inside of this tree has basically been carved out, but is somehow still alive and well. There is natural leaves and sort of this glowing fungus of some type that is growing even on the inside of the tree that is giving this sort of low natural light to the interior. And directly before you, you do see a desk with an elf behind it, who is sitting there, seemingly going through some papers and some documents and such. And as you come forward, she kind of looks up at you, and she seems a bit young, and she goes, "Oh, didn't expect anyone in quite so early. What is it that I can help you with here today at the Tower of Three?"
I'm Hermia Astoria from Xanthia in the Feywild, and I was hoping to speak with the Council of Three if they're available. I'm just really curious about how elves are outside of the Feywild. Like, are they treated well here?
Okay. And you watch she kind of starts to shuffle through some papers. I wasn't aware that we were expecting any sort of a dignitary from Xanthia. So the council doesn't only meets once a week, all together. Did you just get it in town?
Last night, right?
Okay, so we weren't expecting you then.
No.
Oh, you watch as like this big wave of relief suddenly like washes over. She's like, okay.
I don't need to speak with all 3 of them, just whoever's available.
All right. Currently, none of them are in at the moment. But and you watch she starts to sort of go through some stuff. All of them this evening will be present. Were you looking to speak to any of them in particular?
Not in particular, but perhaps sooner than the evening. Just for a little chat.
I'm not sure that I can arrange that for you.
Do you manage their schedules?
One of many that does so, yes, but they usually don't get in until a little bit closer to.
Well, maybe I can just talk to you.
All right, sure. I will help in any way that I can.
How do the Council of Three usually run their days?
I mean, usually in the
Like-
morning they, whatever it is they need to do, whether it's taking care of things at home, Grey Yathinaros tends to spend a lot of his time in the barracks. Alicist Dawnay spends a lot of his time at the Malazamir library. Amra Belay spends a lot of time, going to and fro from the different temples in the city. Both those approved and she kind of lowers her voice a bit, unapproved by the Empire. They spend their evenings here in the tower, going over whatever business they need, both amongst themselves and with the Starosta.
So not a lot of public viewing, but not a whole lot of politicianing.
I mean, that's not really for me to say. They all lead very busy days.
Right. They're there for their people as much as they can be.
Yes.
Are you treated here well? The guards out front were not the most welcoming guards I've ever encountered.
Yes, no, I'm treated well, but yes, the Empire's influence here can sometimes be a bit abrasive. It's well known that Starosta Prent isn't the biggest fan of our people.
It is odd that he is the Starosta, a human, right? He's human?
He is. I suppose it depends on how you look at it. I think
I
perhaps
just feel like they would want to bridge the gap between the Empire and the Elves, using someone
I
such as
can
this.
tell that you are new here. Yes, no. Prent, I think, even with his prejudice, was sent here as a way to help keep tabs on us, a leash, if you will. He is not liked by the Ring of Three, and the Ring of Three are not liked by him, but somehow they make it work.
What is the Empire's interest in this city? Not saying that it doesn't have its worth, but from an economic and political position, it doesn't seem like it would tip the scale very much either which way.
Your reasonings on why it matters to the king, why he has control here or not, is as good as mine, but people in power tend to want more of it, and unless they're lording their power over someone, I don't know, I guess how do they know that they really have it? It's all above me, but and she kind of looks past you out towards where the guards were. Was there anything else that I could help you? Perhaps I could put you on the books for tomorrow to talk with one of the Ring of Three.
I'm not sure if we'll be in town for that long. Could you point us into the direction of the library?
Oh, of course. And she gives you instructions to where the... Hold on, where is it? So many notes. The Great Archives of Molasamir.
Right, thank you. You've been really helpful. It just makes me sad to see such a beautiful city basically, I don't know, under such cruelty, ignorance.
I mean, it's not... It's not so much that they treat us cruelly, but there are, the elders that worry that the Empire's influence will distort or somehow lessen our legacy, our culture. But I mean, we're treated fine here, if that's what you're worried about.
Yeah,
Oh.
I can see.
Well, I think also, I'm sorry, and I just bow my head to Hermia. Not to speak out of turn, but I think it's also good to remember that we live long and wild, much longer than humans do. So our legacy is something that is not so easily rid of.
And you sound a lot like Alice's. He has the same frame of mind as you. Gwei would sooner see us go to war with the Empire, but Alice's and some of the other elders know that, like the Julius Dominion before them, we'll outlive all of them eventually, one way or another.
But I don't want to keep. We don't want to take up any more of your time, and nor sour your afternoon with such talk. But I was curious. You said that you weren't expecting us. Is there another dignitary or some other person of influence that you were expecting today?
No. And if I was, that's not information I can share with you.
Oh no, of course. I was just curious to see if there was some kind of event going on in town.
All right. Well.
Right.
there's-
Well, we're off to the library. We appreciate your time and your forthcomingness with your answers to my questions.
Any time. Thank you for visiting. Would you like me to leave like a note or a letter or anything for any of the Ring of Three?
Just let them know if they have time before sundown that I'm in town and will be at the library.
All right, sure. Okay. So as you all leave the Tower of Three, we're going to hop on over to the rest of the group. So Rosalind, Leaf, and Leo, what you doing?
So as we step outside, Rosalind is gonna glance over to Leo. Be like, okay, so I assume you were an adventurer for a while. I know, like, how long have you been adventuring?
For a while now, like decade or so.
Also, query, how long have you been dreaming for?
Since I was a kid.
Interesting. Mayhaps we should have a talk about dreams as we go to our next place of destination.
All right, Leaf, you share your dream, we'll share ours.
Restricted content.
I see. Anyway, so Leo, you've been adventuring for a while. I mean, where I come from, if you want to ingratiate yourselves to the locals, you find an adventurers guild or a barracks or something and see what people need. Is that hold pretty much true here?
To a certain degree. I usually work with like thieves guilds mostly, but
I'm not opposed to finding a guild of sorts. Any
I don't.
you know of any connections here in Baiseta?
Robbie, would I?
You would not have any connections like that here.
Yeah. No, I'm not even sure if they have a thieves guild here with like how high class everything looks around here.
Then I propose we start, maybe ask around, see if there's an adventurers guild or a barracks or something.
I'm sure they have a barracks. They had a bunch of
Soldiers. Can't hurt. Rosalind will look around. Is there anyone in the area?
Well, you do notice there are two Bisetile guardians who are standing about 15 feet away from you, just outside, as if they were waiting for you.
Oh, great. Rosalind will walk over to them.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Morning.
She noticing that they were just like waiting for us to come up. I take it you'll be our lovely escorts today.
So long as you don't do anything untoward, we're just watching.
Perfect. Might you point us in the direction? Is there an adventurers guild in town, or a fighters guild, or a barracks, or?
Probably the place you're looking for would be our Guardian Force barracks. It also doubles as where the Crown's Guard is staying.
Perfect. Could you point us in the direction of it?
Sure, we can take you.
Excellent. Thank you.
And they kind of
as we're
on either side of you.
Yeah.
Not quite. Like, one of them's sort of a little behind you, while the other one's sort of leading. So, yeah.
As we're walking, Rosalind just wants to try to make small talk.
Sure.
Like, just be friendly.
Yeah.
As we're walking, Leaf is going to say, query, query, guards, do you have dreams?
They both just turn and kind of look at you. Yeah, most living beings do.
Would you tell this one about them?
No.
Some people, Leaf, can be a little bit private with their dreams. It's not always something everyone wants to share.
Was there anything particular you wanted to talk to them about, Rosalind?
She would be like talking about talking about the trance that they fought and things like that. Hey, Z Zilchi, thank you so much for the raid. 16 people coming in.
Nice.
Sorry for the interruption.
Nice.
Yeah, right. Welcome in. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons, and this is Robbie's campaign set in Exandria, where Critical Role is held.
All right, so I suppose
Chicken nugget.
the only other question then, if you're just making small talk, there's nothing like you don't have to we don't have to actually have the conversation. But was there any sort of information that you wanted to try and glean while small talking?
She's trying to get a sense of because he mentioned that the barracks is shared between them and the Crown's Guard.
Mm-hmm.
She would like to get an idea of what is that relationship like, because
Okay.
that's got to be awkward.
Yeah, and you get the sense that it's not great. There isn't a awesome relationship between the two groups overall. The Crown's Guard technically outrank the Bicetal Guardian Force, even though they outnumber them 10-1. And obviously this is their city, so they're not happy with it. But they also mention the name Gwei Yethneros, who is one of the Ring of Three, and who kind of, name's already in the chat, who kind of oversees the barracks, and is one of the younger members of the Ring of Three, and is kind of in charge of all of that. Whereas the Starosta is the one who lords over the Crown's Guard.
Are these guards? They're part of the Bicetal force, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. So she'll kind of nod as she picks up some of that information, and in return she'll share a story of what the guard is like back where she comes from, describing the city watch basically of Vano. She's being polite and kind.
Yeah. So
Does
go ahead.
Before we get there, I want to be looking around for thieves' cant, signs to see if there's any sort of thieves guild around.
Make a perception check.
Also, while we're walking, Leaf is going to see if the Guardian Force has any reported cases of memory loss.
No,
That
asking
is
that
a-
they don't really seem to know what you're talking about.
13 plus 6.
Okay. Yeah, you keep your eyes out, but again, from where you're from, this definitely seems like it is mostly a rich neighborhood. And while that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't crime or even a activity of thieves guild somewhere, nothing that you see anywhere clues you into that being the case at the moment.
Okay.
But eventually you are led to the Bicetal Guardian Force Barracks, which is an actual building itself built between two large tree trunks. It looks to be pretty massive, about 2 stories, and goes back further into the forest, further than what you can see. Outside the front, there are several sort of small platoons that are, engaged in some combat training with one another, a few standing guard. And as you get there, the 2 that you've been traveling with, we'll wait for you out here. If you're dumb enough to try anything stupid inside, well, I suppose that'll be on you, but...
Rosalind nods and gives a kind of polite nod. Thank you. And she'll glance over at Leo and be like, looking towards the kind of people who are just training out in the front yard. She's gonna be like, I'll go talk to them if you two want to try and head inside and see if you can find this Gwei.
Sure. I don't even know what he looks like, but hopefully he has something that tells us that he's important.
Yeah, he'd probably look important, right? I would think so. And so Rosalind will nod, and she's gonna kind of walk over to just try and get like. She grew up in effectively a guild, like learning how to fight. She's seen people training. She just wants to like see if she could maybe like slide in and do some like the combat exercises that they're doing.
Okay. You kind of take a look around, seeing if there's any particular group that you might be able to, since there's a few of them that seems like there is someone who's kind of, commanding them, doing some things, blah, 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 stuff like that.
She would prefer one of the elven groups.
They are actually all elven. That
okay.
you see. They are all bi-tiled. You don't see any of the Crown's Guard out here.
Okay, great.
Okay. So yeah, you are able to find 2 younger-looking elves who seem to be training with practice swords, and one of them is getting their ass kicked.
Okay, he's just getting rocked.
Yeah. You see, he's fighting against a female elf, long blonde hair, tied up into a ponytail behind her, but still goes down to like her lower back. And this poor dude who has sort of shorter hair. You see, there's a scar under his left eye. She is just like, you can tell that she's like playing with him.
Okay, can I walk over to this person and kind of like when there's like a break in the actual combat, can be like, mind if I give it a try?
Yeah, so you watch, and at one point she basically flips the sword away from him, spins him around, and then plants her foot into his ass and just like shoves him down onto the ground. He goes sprawling like forward into like a small snowbank. And she kind of turns around, not even winded, and goes, I suppose if you can show him a thing or two. And you watch.
Are they fighting? Is she fighting with like sword and shield, or just a sword?
Just a sword. Just a sword.
Okay.
And you watch as the guy on the ground kind of turns around. It's like, yeah, no, go ahead. I'll take a break. It feels nice.
Rosalind
here.
Rosalind will kind of give him a sympathetic look because she's been the one getting her ass kicked before. She knows, and she'll put her shield down in the dirt and just use her sword as well.
If you trained with it, use it.
She shrugs and picks it up.
I would prefer though do you want to use live blades or?
No, we can. If you have a spare wooden one, I'd appreciate that. So she'll go grab a wooden practice sword.
You're not using yours. Hand it over to the lady, and he tosses it up to you.
Catches it.
So you're not from around here. Go ahead and just roll a d20.
Roll a flat d20.
Yep. Add a d4 since you have your sword. Since you have your shield. Oops.
7.
Okay. So as soon as it's in your hand, she is on you. You basically hear, you're not from around here, and then like you see the sword like coming at you just in time. You like put your shield up for it, and even the brunt of it from this practice blade like kind of puts you on your back feet, and you just kind of parry back a little bit. But she is fast.
She's quick. All right.
Like Aunt Des fast. But Des also fought with daggers, and she has, like, a long sword that she's using.
Right, she's doing it with a long sword. Roz is still you're normally using a short sword. She has a practice blade now, though.
Yeah.
So Roz will, like, parry it back, even though she's, like, going back and be like, quite far, actually, and she'll try to lunge and attack back.
All right, go ahead and roll again.
Can I use inspiration?
If you'd like to, yeah.
Nat 20. 22.
Okay, she also rolled a 22, but didn't get the nat 20. So, you lunge at her, and she dodges out of the way and goes to hit you in the back of the legs, but you're able to get yours back there just in time to parry it and bring yourself facing back around with her. So what brings you to our lovely fair city, then?
Always just looking for the next adventure. Haven't gotten to see anything so far. Rexentrum was boring. This place didn't seem like it was.
All right, go ahead and roll again.
Mm-hmm. Keep burning them inspirations. 18.
Okay, she rolled a natural 20 this time.
Jesus.
So as she comes at you, she comes with a very predictable attack that you're like, what is this? And you go up and you parry it super easily. She pushes further into you, putting her shoulder right up against your spear, and then kicks your legs out from underneath you, and you just fall flat on your face in front of her.
Oh.
Well,
Rosalind.
there isn't a whole lot to see here, but you found about as fun as it's going to get. And by the way, the guy now is giving you a sympathetic stare as, like, you two, like, lock eyes for a minute. Like, yeah, not so easy, is it?
No, it's not. That said, having been experienced with getting knocked down, can she try to make an attack from the ground?
Go for it. I will even give her disadvantage this time.
One more time. 22.
Okay, yeah, she rolled low. So, as she's kind of, more used to as, like, when you go down, you reset. You basically tie up her legs from the ground and, like, bring her down onto her ass across from you, and she kind of gives you this look like, oh, okay. Go ahead and roll again this time as, leaving her sword on the ground, she just, like, lunges for you.
Oh, snap. I'll toss my sword aside to go hand-to-hand with her.
Okay.
I am trained in hand-to-hand proficiency, actually.
So is she, so still just straight rolls.
Call it straight? All right.
You no longer get your D4 since you're not using your shield anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. I rolled 12 and 12.
All right, well, that's better than what she had. So, in a quick little scuffle on the ground, you are able to actually sort of pin her down underneath you. And you just see, like,
a big
this,
girl.
like, she's just kind of smiling up at you slyly. But it could get more exciting. And we're going to cut inside.
Yep.
So, Leaf and Leo, you two head inside the barracks, and nobody seems to actually really pay you much mind. You get a few glances towards Leaf, because he's an automaton. But it doesn't seem like this place is necessarily restricted or anything like that. And as you walk in, this first sort of large room, there's people all over the place. Seems to be some sort of, you see equipment lined up on the side. There's training equipment in here, weightlifting and stuff like that. But just seems to be like this sort of large common room. It's probably about 100 feet by 100 feet. And there's maybe 20 to 30 people in here, mostly elves. But off in one corner, you do see 3 dwarves and a human. And a half-orc in the Crown's Guard attire that seems to be sort of keeping to themselves. There are several doors lined up on the left and right, and then 3 doors in the far back.
Okay. Is there a desk at all?
Yeah, as soon as you walk in, just off to your left, there seems to be a desk with an elf who's sitting behind it, not really kind of paying you much mind.
I walk up to the desk. Sorry to bug you so early in the morning. Is Gway Yathernos in?
He is. Can I ask who's asking? Do you have an appointment?
I don't have an appointment, but I'm on a journey with a dignitary from Zeranos? Is that what Hermia said?
Where are you from?
That was out of character.
Yeah.
Xanthia.
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 Yeah.
I don't know if they'd believe you.
Well, we'll see. Okay. And you're looking to speak with him. Is the dignitary here?
Yes. We weren't able to reach him at the royal place here.
All right. Go ahead and give me a deception check.
Good at those. So 15 on the die plus 4.
19?
Yep.
Oh, okay, give me a moment. What's this dignitary's name?
Hermia.
All right, and you're looking to, get an appointment on the books with him?
Mostly just to talk to him about, like, the ongoings of the city and the relations between And I kind of look over to the Crown's Guard without saying it, and the elves.
All right. And you watch as he walks across to one of the doors in the back on the far left and heads inside. And after a few moments, he comes back out and he kind of waves you over.
I kind of like elbow Leaf to follow me in.
Yeah, I follow.
Okay. He opens the door and you see a hallway that goes down about 30 feet, and he goes, "Last one on the left."
Thank you. And I head over.
Yep. So you head down. You knock on the door.
Yep.
All right. So you hear someone inside. "Enter."
I enter.
And as you do, it's a pretty, considering the fact that that kind of the first room that you came into just looked like this giant, general, glorified gym type area. This is a pretty well put together sort of office. You see a couple weapons up on the back wall. There's a suit of armor on a mannequin in one of the corners. He's sitting behind this massive looking sort of oak, dark wood finish of a desk. Walls are sort of lined with books and whatnot, but you see a male elf with dark auburn colored hair that sets like fire on a fierce face, cold, blue-colored robes. He definitely stands out in a crowd, both in fashion and with just the sheer furiosity of his personality. And as you walk in, he goes, "State your business. I'm told that you are here with a dignitary from Xanthia."
Yes, we are on a mission to kind of suss out how the Empire is treating Bayside Tile.
"And what business is it of the Feywild how we are being treated here in the prime material plane?"
Because the Feywild is looking to trade with the Empire, and they want to know if their trade is helping the elves in this prime material plane.
Make a deception check.
Not bad.
That's pretty good, actually. We should have just led with that from the beginning.
17 plus 4.
He stands up. "Please, sit down. Your automaton can wait outside."
I look to Leaf. It's like, I'll be fine.
All right, Leaf just goes and stands.
Crap, Leaf.
He walks over and he...
Leaf goes over and closes the door and literally stands like with its back facing the door.
Yep. You hear the door lock from the other side, Leaf. And as you said you sit down, Leo?
Yep.
All right, you do. And as you hear him walking back from the door, what's your passive perception?
16.
Okay. You hear the telltale sign of steel slowly being drawn from a leather scabbard. You have time to react.
If I feel it coming towards me, I pull out my dagger.
All right, and as you pull it out and turn towards him, he's holding one as well. And he kind of actually gives you a bit of like props. And he's like, so it seems you are more than just escorting a dignitary. But I know a liar when I see one. So come clean about why you're here and what you want. Because while your odds of defeating me are slim, your odds of doing so and getting out of here are nothing.
I sheathe my blade. It's like, I have no ill will towards you. But...
He does not sheath his, by the way.
That's fine. What gave me away?
In my line of work, with whom I work, it's life or death to know when those are telling the truth and when those are not. I've been practicing it for maybe about as long as you have.
Understandable. Well, I'm here with 5 other people trying to either prevent or aid an assassination attempt
On who?
on someone we do. Good. Don't know.
Who sent
Be-
you?
Do you know Mr. Black from Rexentrum?
Anyone from Rexentrum is immediately distrusted. Everyone in the Empire can hang for all I care.
So we're on the same team.
Yet you were sent from someone in Rexentrum. Who is this Mr. Black?
Some dignitary from Rexentrum. I do not know
Is he Elven?
his affiliation. From what I heard, maybe. I didn't meet him personally.
Make a deception check.
Wait, I wasn't with the group. I was
Were
literally
you
getting
not?
horses. Yeah, I was getting horses when they got.
Oh, I thought that was after Mr. Black left.
Nope.
Oh,
That was
all right. Fair enough. Fair enough then. Mr. Black is Elven though.
okay.
So you've been sent here by this Mr. Black to stop or enable an assassination.
From what I can gather, it might be the Star Rosa that the assassination attempt. It could be the similar assassination attempt that happened in Rexentrum, to be perfectly honest.
What happened in Rexentrum?
What was the...
Cerberus Assembly member.
A Cerberus Assembly member was staged assassination attempt. She's fine. But the...
Yes, no, I believe word of that reached our ears. So this Mr. Black believes that someone is going around trying to knock off prominent members of the Empire.
That's what I would assume.
He finally puts his dagger away and goes and sits down. Then let it happen.
Fine.
What did you say your name was?
I'll actually give him my full name, Leonidas Woodsmile.
And this group that you're here with, do they go by any name?
The Second Chances. We're the ones that saved.
So
The
I
people.
heard. Impressive. Well, Leonidas, what exactly was your objective in coming to chat with me then today?
To find out more about the goings on in Bayside Tile, to be perfectly frank. But since you wanted the full story...
Well, in what regards? We are thriving as much as we can while being choked out by the influence of the Empire. All we want to do is to be left alone to our own devices so that our culture and our legacy can thrive. But of course, King Dwendal has to have his finger on the pulse of all of his lands. And Starosta Uther Prent is as slimy as the humans come, always wanting to flex his power and take as much as he can. So if someone's going to kill him, good.
Aren't you worried about a war breaking out because of that?
Bisaitile can defend themselves.
Your men think differently.
Good thing our men aren't being paid to think.
But it would be a good idea to listen to them. If they're worried that they're not going to win a battle, how much footing do you have?
The battle only comes to Bisaitile when the Empire doesn't have elsewhere to look. If it comes to that, I assure you, they'll have bigger problems. One's closer to home.
Well, if this assassination does go through, what is your course of action therefore after?
What business is it of yours? What do you have to gain?
To be honest, nothing personally, but in the grander scheme of things, it kind of opens up the door for great change within the city.
If it happens, it will depend on where the blame is lain, and knowing King Dwindle, he will probably try to place it on us here, so we will fortify ourselves, we will draw as many of our people back as possible, and wait to see what the crown does.
Would you exile the Crown's Guard at that point too?
Probably. As much as I would rather see them hung, I'm sure that both Amra and Alicis would rather send them on their way as a show of good faith.
Understandable. Now, my group
Leaf,
has been...
make a quick perception check for me. Leaf?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought you were talking to Leo.
No. You make a perception check for me.
Good. Yeah. Oh. 13.
Okay. You can hear all that's going on in there through the wall, by the way.
Oh.
So, sorry. Continue, Leo.
My group is formally being sent off by the end of the night. Is there any way you could postpone that till something actually happens?
Why should I? What's in it for me? Apparently this assassination is already going to happen, and you don't seem to have any further information.
Because after the last assassination attempt, there were portals that opened up and brought in monsters that could kill people. And
this was
to be
part of the assassination?
It's where the assassination led to. The assassin ran to these portals, and my group was able to seal these portals, and I show him my tattoo on my chest with the power from these.
So you think these portals were a means to create confusion or a cover screen for the assassin to get away?
From what I believe, these portals are something a little bit bigger than just petty political squabbles. It's more of a world-ending problem.
His reaction is intrigued, but also a bit dismissive. And he kind of sits back in his chair. You don't need to continue to spin tall tales.
I wish I wasn't. I swear on my life I am telling the truth. And if you send us away and these portals come, and you let your people die, I am sorry.
Make a persuasion check.
That is a 16 plus 2, so 18 total.
Well, Mr. Woodsmile, if there is any mysterious portals that open up, I do believe that the Guardian forces here will be able to handle them, as well as the Crown's Guard. Fine. But should I think of further uses for you or the second chances, I'll reach out. If not, please enjoy the rest of your stay in Bisetile.
Thank you for your time. And I get up and walk out.
All right.
As you open the door, you literally walk into the spec.
Okay.
Let's go, Leaf.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Kieran, Maeve, Hermia, you have all left the Tower of Three. So is there anything that you would like to discuss as you are walking away?
So what's our plan? We're going to the library?
I figured that one guy might be there. And also
Right.
maybe, like, libraries usually, I don't know. There's usually interesting people there that could have some information on just how things are. Although I think I have a pretty good idea of how things are.
True. I'd be curious how much the library is used by the, She kind of just looks around the Empire. Maybe they have a secret organization, the library. You know, they have, technically, the, Cobalt Soul has quite, has some secret organizations. Maybe they have some here.
I mean, maybe. I'm still as conflicted about coming here as I was before. I think either way, whether or not this change happens, like, is it good for the everyday people of the city?
I think that's what we all have to ask ourselves. Is stopping this...
Well, I think even if we stopped it or didn't, just the fact that it's going to happen is not going to be good for just like the everyday people. It's going to cause the Empire to look to quash any elvish like delinquents, like people out of line. They're going to want to show a strong show of force whether or not they succeed or not.
Well, maybe if we can find some hint of who this assassin could possibly be. Given what we were told, I have guesses of who their target is. But, well, maybe we can further decipher what their aim really is. We don't actually know if their aim is to do what we were told would happen in the future if the assassination went through.
Right.
Well, I think to the library is as good as in any choice. I'll keep my eye out, but otherwise I will be at your side.
Yeah, just this whole situation just makes me sad.
It is sad. I come from only elves, and it's very close-knit people. It's strange to see things like this.
Well, I'm not an elf at all. So
Don't say that so loudly.
that was a stage whisper. And
I'm teasing.
so I have no idea what your culture is, what you're all about, and whatever else. But what I do know, Armia, that you're right. That sucks. And unfortunately, I have to agree. I just don't. Crown's Guard Empire people like that, they don't change. Anyone different from them might as well be a monster.
It's hard for me to have much sympathy for the Empire, given that worshipping of my goddess is outlawed with them. But I also don't know enough. I can only rely on people such as you, Kieran, who have had to deal with them.
All these compliments today. You guys are spoiling me.
Well, maybe you could use a little pick-me-up.
It's almost like you're nicer today than you were previous.
You're being so nice
All right,
today.
so as you guys head to the library, which is on the far side of Bisetile, so it'll take you a second to get there. Rosalind, you continue to spar with this young lady. Give me one last roll. You can use your shield again if you picked it back up.
Sure. And I will continue to use inspiration. I've got a lot of those. Slash roll. There we go. 2d20 plus 4. 23.
It's a good one. She rolled another natural 20. So it's close. She definitely has the edge on you. You have some reach, but she definitely has flexibility. And
Wow.
Come on.
and eventually, just as Leo and Leaf are coming back out, as you kind of wrap it up, she's like, "So I didn't get your name."
She looked Rosalind like stretching a little bit, trying to work out the now sore neck.
No, you're gonna be
Oh, I'm
feeling that
sure.
for a few days.
Rosalind. Rosalind Larest. Nice to meet you.
Lisal, and she shakes your hand. What are you saying,
Rosalind's
Rosalind
picture.
Larest?
Well, we spent last night over at is it the Maidens?
Melora's Tears.
Melora's Tears. I thought it said Maidens. I was staying last night over at Melora's Tears, although I've been told my presence in this city is not welcome for much longer.
Well, maybe I'll stop by and you can buy me a drink later.
Rosalind kind of like blushes at that.
And she takes the practice sword from you and throws it back on the guy who's still on the ground and goes, "Get your ass up. We aren't even close to being finished." And he just gives you this look like, "Kill me."
Rosalind gives him something of a is gonna walk over and she'll like lean down and just kind of whisper in his ear some to the effect of, keep your shield up with the left hand, but always like lead with your left.
I don't use a
That's
shield.
She looks down and goes, "That's rough, buddy." And you said, would you put her name in the chat for me? Thank you.
Are you gonna call her later?
I don't have her number. She'll have to come calling on me.
And then you meet up with Leo and Leaf as they are coming out. And so Leo, Leaf, you see sort of the end of this interaction. You basically see them from like the handshake on.
Rosalind is covered in dirt and definitely I feel like has like a bloody lip at this point. Like they've been fighting. Like it was sparring for a while. It was fighting later on and then back to sparring.
Mm-hmm.
Rosalind walks over. "Hey, how'd it go?"
Not great.
You notice your escorts are still waiting for you. They're about 30 feet off.
How did the escorts respond to watching me and Lisal just like throw down?
Yeah, they were enjoying it.
Okay,
Yeah,
hell
they were like, "All right, girl can fight."
All right, hell yeah. So not well. Okay, well, I guess I would say I won. I did well. I fought. It was good.
Yeah, you did.
Let's go.
Lisal would not say that you won.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's fair. It's reasonable. I didn't roll 2 nat 20s. What can I say? But yeah. Okay. Well, let's maybe step away from here. Where do you wanna go next?
I can't find any place where I could sneak off to talk to people of the underbelly of the city, so I have no clue where to go next.
Fair enough. Well then. Were you able to meet with Gwei?
Yeah.
Well, we're not arrested or being thrown out, so I suppose it went well enough then.
Yeah, I tried to extend our stay a little bit with him, but my pleading didn't work, so...
Yeah, fair enough then. All right, well, I suppose then, unless you have a thought, maybe we should go check out the front gates. Maybe we can find, see if they need any help cleaning up on the battlefield or something like that. Maybe we can find someone there, or we could try a temple. Are you religious?
No, not at all.
She glanced over at Leaf. Are you religious?
As she asks you this,
Can we-
Leaf, you suddenly recall this memory. You hear this voice in your head. What about you, Leif? What is your thoughts on religion? Melora, the great wild mother, and what she gives to the world.
Am I supposed to respond?
Yeah. What do you recall your answer was to that question?
Mm,
You can't quite recall who Melora is currently, though. But if you responded, you remember that response. It's just like this little MP4 unlocked inside you.
I'm thinking.
Melora's
take
a
your
god
time.
in Vano, right?
It is. You didn't hear that though, but she is.
No,
yeah.
no, but we stayed at Melora's tears.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting.
Leaf is going to say out loud, both in response to Rosalind and to the MP3 file. The gods and goddesses of the world shape the world. However, it is the people and humanity that reside in the world are what create life.
Juxta, wrong game. That's last night.
Oh, shit.
So that's what you hear, Rosalind.
Fair enough. Very well. I'll look over
As-
at our guard escort then, and ask them. Are there temples here? I mean, I presume there are, but
They kind of look at each other for a moment. Looking for anyone in particular?
oh yeah. And she opens her mouth to like say it, and then like in her mind hears Hermia going, "You shouldn't tell people that," and is like, "Oh, Then she realizes she has no idea what gods are approved by the Empire, and is just like, "Fuck." And she shrugs. Changebringer? Avandra?
They kind of look at each other, a little umming and eyeing a bit.
She shows them the
Sure.
symbol on her shield. This one?
Yeah, it's not much. There's not many here who openly worship her for obvious reasons. On top of the fact that, just here in Baisei Tile, sure, yeah, and they begin to lead you.
Hey. Rosalind seems excited.
Robbie,
Mm-hmm.
you said that when we first entered Baisei Tile that I saw the shepherd crook
Mm-hmm.
imagery.
Was actually
Was
was on the sign to Melora's Tears.
To
So-
Melora's tear.
So the place that you guys stayed, that inn, had it above the sign. Yeah.
Oh, well then I would just assume that. As we're walking, Leaf is going to say, query, do you have any temples for Melora here?
One of them kind of turns their head and goes, yeah. Obviously still being not approved by the Empire. They're not as frequented or celebrated, mostly just to keep the Starosta off our backs about it. But it's near the one for the Changebringer, so we'll take you there. So, as the day moves into the afternoon, Kieran, Hermia, and Maeve, you arrive at the Great Archives of Malazimir. And similar to a lot of the buildings up here, it's actually down out of the sort of the top areas of the city, and you are led to another sort of great tree further back in sort of the northern reaches of the city. But you are led inside, and it is... You didn't think that the spectacle of the Rexentrim Archive of the Cobalt Soul could be maybe not topped, but comparable to But as you walk in, this entire tree has been hollowed out, similar to the other ones. Somehow still alive with all of the, the mosses and the fungus glowing and whatnot. But the walls all the way up the trunk of this tree, as far as you can see, until it basically disappears into this soft, sort of luminescent glow the higher up you go. But just books. The inside of this tree is just books all the way up until it disappears.
We should have gone here first.
And as you enter, you are actually greeted by an older-looking elf. Even, for his people, you can already sort of see visible aging.
See, they can be older looking.
His white hair also, sort of already has some darker gray in it. There's a slight arch to his back that he's definitely trying his best to hide as he's standing up straight, still holding on to a cane. White robes with silver and gold on it. You can see the crow's feet at the corner of his eyes. Welcome, young ones. What is it that brings you here to the archives of Malazamir? And looking around, there isn't a whole lot of people in here. You see a few here and there studying, and some people sort of up on some of the upper levels. But definitely not as active as the archives in Rex and Trim were.
Are there kind of a mix of people? Are they mostly elves?
They are all elves.
All elves, interesting. Okay. Okay, so my theory about a secret library organization may not be too far off. I don't say so much. But I do think it.
What kind of books do you have here? Is this like the history of the city, or is it like just
Some. There's quite a bit. Well, I shouldn't say most of it, but there is a fair amount of it that was recovered from the ruins of Malazamir and brought here ages ago, but plenty that we've gotten from all around, whether it's from in the Empire or across the sea from Teldore. There's even quite a bit that has been brought from as far as Marquette as well.
wow?
But correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't seem to be residents of our fair city.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm Hermia Astoria from Xanthia.
Ah, from the Feywild.
Yes.
And what is it that brings you this far?
Curiosity mostly.
One sec,
it's
Katie.
unique.
Hold on.
You're
Sorry, one sec.
Yeah, I hear it too.
Okay,
hear
everybody
Yeah,
hears
it's
that.
I
Yes.
thought I was like going crazy.
No, yeah, like
Nope.
I'm trying to figure out like where it comes from. Let me see what
I
happens if I.
don't know what it is.
It's you just whatever you did made it go back and forth.
Yep.
Okay, so it's somehow coming from. One sec. Okay, it's not from Video Ninja. Oh.
Oh, that did it.
That did it.
Okay, weird.
What'd you do?
Unmuted myself in Video Ninja?
Oh,
Oh, sure. Got it. Gremlins.
Okay.
You fixed the gremlins.
Yep. Okay.
Weird than a printer.
Yep.
I don't get printers.
Sorry, continue, Hermia.
Mostly curiosity. It's unique. The situation that the city's in.
Aha.
Under
Yes, it is.
the Empire, but still, I still.
It is. But honestly, it affords us certain protections as well. All cultures undergo challenges in their lifetime, and they only grow stronger for being able to endure them. The Empire there's beauty in itself as well, but being a part of it, there are protections there as well. And in the grand scheme of things, the Julius Dominion, the Dwendalian Empire, they'll come and go, and if the cataclysm of Molazimir teaches us anything, it's that we will persevere.
Are the elves treated kind here?
Of course. Of course. It's not that the Empire rules over us so much as King Dwindle just likes to know, I suppose, that everything is his. Will the nobles complain about having to pay too much taxes? Sure, but there's never going to be an appropriate amount or a reasonable amount of taxes to pay. And when they say that certain deities are outlawed, it's really more of a don't ask, don't tell, I suppose. Where are my manners, though? You said that your name was sorry,
Hermia Storia.
Hermia Astoria, and your companions.
This is my teacher, Kieran, and my friend Maeve.
Well, my name is Alicis Dawnay. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. If there is anything that I can do while you are here at the archives, please don't hesitate to let me or any of the attendants know.
Thank you.
If you will permit me to, I was actually just on my way out.
Hermia kind of looks towards like Kieran and Maeve.
Follow.
Like, I don't know what to say.
Oh, what was the name?
Alicis.
What was the name? Alicis? Alicis, before you leave, was there anyone else here that would perhaps specialize in the history of Bisetile that we could perhaps engage in conversation with?
That would be me, actually, but unfortunately I am running a bit behind. I will be back here later tonight, though. If you're still around and would like to talk a bit, I would be happy to.
I see. We're just on a pretty tight schedule. Is there someone, perhaps, that you would recommend, then? Perhaps an understudy of yours, or...
Sure, and he sort of leans back and points over to a smaller, sort of squirrely-looking half-elf who's sitting over in the corner. That is Sinta over there. If you'd like to ask him anything, I'm sure that he would be more than willing to help you with whatever it is that you need.
I see. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course, of course. And he turns with that and begins to leave.
Well,
Sorry, Maeve. Did you want to ask something?
no, don't worry about it.
Sorry.
No, not your fault. Seems like they are all very busy with something or other.
Yeah, it's odd.
You all
Alright.
did catch that he was one of the Ring of Three, right?
Yeah, I
I
did.
was actually going to confirm that. The only thing I was going to say
Mm.
is, wow, you people from the Ring of Three sure are busy.
Oh.
But I said not to say that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Eh.
Get a message to both. So, our options are we can either get as much information out of the squirrely guy, which is much easier target, or we can clearly go see what the fuck is up with Mr. Allison over there.
Did the guys following us come into the library?
The doors are currently open. Like, there isn't doors to come in. It's just sort of, like, opened up. You can see them standing outside. You are still within eye line of them.
I don't know how we can hail him without drawing attention.
Well, if I think this to Kieran. We can't do multi at the same time
I know.
because I have an idea, but it has to be secret.
Like, you all can converse without them hearing, but you are
Okay,
within,
fair
like,
enough.
eye line of them. So if you want to
Okay,
try to
I mean-
plan something, you can.
I mean, Kieran, if you can hide and come out as someone else, it might be less suspicious.
Yeah, we could go further into the library
Mm-hmm.
or make it seem like we are.
Right, and then you turn a corner, and then we'll see you in a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
His name's suggesting deception.
Yes. But out of the three of us, Kieran's the most suited.
That's true.
Babe, I always knew you were one of us. I just knew.
Vivian shakes her head.
Chaos Crew claims another.
I simply am looking at our options and trying out for the best course of action. You have a particular talent that I don't understand, but which may be useful to us.
Let's do it.
So maybe I just excuse myself and go to the bathroom and then...
That's what I would do.
Yes. And we'll
Alright.
just go meet you farther back in the library.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you go further in. The guards do eventually come in, and Kieran, you want to just go find a hidden spot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It is easy enough to do. What do you turn into?
Going to...
Just don't turn into yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna... I'll just turn into, like, some everyman. Someone who would look... who's human.
Mm.
And, but just looks like a villager or a citizen.
Okay. Easy enough to do. And then you are leaving to follow Alice's?
Yes.
All right, so make a perception check to see if you can catch up to him, find him as you are coming back out of the library.
I'm definitely using advantage. Or inspiration, I should say. Okay. 15.
Takes you a minute, but assuming, okay, he's part of the Ring of Three, we just came from where they're supposed to go, maybe that's where he's heading, you start heading back that way, and eventually you do come upon him. Make a stealth check if you're trying to sort of, tail him without looking suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Gonna use
Don't
another
be suspicious.
inspiration. That's a dirty 20.
All right, easy enough to do.
It's pretty good at not being suspicious.
While she's following him, Maeve and Hermia, was there anything else you wanted to do in the library?
Talk to Squirrely guy.
Yeah, we'll talk to the squirrely guy.
All right, what sort of information were you looking to get out of him?
Just general history of the city. How are things, like, how are elves, like, treated? What's the relationship between,
So,
like,
as far as, like, the
and
history
also,
goes...
curiosity's sake, because I never directly asked it. So, like, the population is mostly elves, and I guess the Crownsguard are there. Are there, like, regular, like, humans in the city, too?
Yeah,
That
there's...
just live there?
It's the majority is definitely elves. You've seen some half-elves as well. The majority of the humans and dwarves that you've seen have been Crownsguard, but there are, like, other humans that are walking the street. You don't see as many up in, like, the treetops. But yeah, there's sort of a few here and there. Probably for every 8 elves, there's 2 of another race, basically.
So I just kind of, like, ask questions along the lines, like, so are there just everyday, like, people, like, within the city, like, or are they all kind of related to, like, oh, there's people here because, they're part of so-and-so's family who's in the Crown's Guard?
A little bit of both. There are Crownsguard's families here, but, also, there are people who come here to open shops, of their own as well, looking to bring, empire culture up here, whether that's fashion or trinkets or, even some people as far as the Menagerie Coast who are coming up here to maybe sell art or something like that. So there's, specialty shops, essentially. But the biggest takeaway that you have from that is that, for the most part, as just an ordinary citizen of Bicetal, the Empire doesn't really necessarily touch or affect their life in much besides maybe like, oh, I have to worship my god in secret. But you don't get the sense from any of the conversations you've had or anything that you've seen in the streets that, like, the Crown's Guard are mistreating the citizens in any way.
Oh, we just had the one-off with them calling us knife ears.
Like I said, Crownsguard are rude, but there's no, like, they're not, like, going out and, like, beating people in the streets type deal.
Right.
It's definitely not a great relationship between the two of them, you know, between the two sides, but again, there's also, like, you know, a 9-to-1 ratio.
Okay.
What's the library treated?
Library is mostly, like, it's used not so much by the Crownsguard, the Empire side of things. It's not as active as, like, the Cobalt Soul is, but it is still, you know, highly regarded. It's a place of cultural significance and importance for Bisetile as a city and as a culture. You know, it's a big link to their past and their legacy.
Certainly have quite the collection here. It's impressive.
Cinta mentions that, kind of talks about what he's been told. He's been on the younger side of the civilization at Molazimir, specifically, which is where most of the people from Bisetile are originally from. Talks of a great library that is supposed to rival even that of some of the collections in some of the temples in oh my. Hold on. Sorry.
Good.
Why am I blanking on the name of this place? Places. On the continent of Asildril, Vasselheim, there we go, which is thought to be the cradle of civilization.
Mm. Have I heard that before?
Yes, you would have came across that in some of your studies.
Okay. It's true that you may not have the same sort of organization as Cobalt Soul, but surely with the amount of just the sheer amount here, you must have people who come in here to study, and
you know,
do you not have people from outside? Oh, go ahead.
On that, as you mentioned, the Cobalt Soul, he does mention and kind of point out that there are some agents of the Cobalt Soul that come here on occasion as well. And at that point, he kind of points out, and you realize that one of the people studying here, still elven, shaved head, is wearing the robes and the colors of the Cobalt Soul.
Ah, okay. I guess that answers that. I was just gonna ask if, you know, do they not have other groups that, you know,
Maeve's like,
do
y'all
they not
got
other
secret library warriors here too.
I'm still thinking it.
Yep.
I'm just trying to be sly.
So,
just asking.
Maeve and Hermia, you continue to sort of hang out here and gather some information. Kieran, you are able to tail Alice's back to the Tower of Three. Are you going to attempt to follow him in?
You do you, man.
Do it.
So, walking in, is it like these are like the heavy duty doors? There's a guard.
There are
like,
two
does it seem
guards
like
standing out front, and they don't seem to pay any mind to him as he walks through.
But it's not like people are just walking in and out.
No,
Yeah.
it's not heavy foot traffic.
Any other entrances I can see?
Yeah, you can actually see that similar to this one, there seems to be sort of 4 entrances in on sort of each side, northwest and south of the tree.
Of the tree. Okay. Any windows?
High up, yes. Too high for you to reach.
How high?
Probably 40, 50 feet.
In one of the entrances, that's not the main, or are they all guarded?
They are all guarded. By a mix of Crown's Guard and Bisetile Guardian Force.
Okay. So, as far as I'm trying to get a sense of the landscape. Is there any like structures or any like
It's essentially just this massive tree, right? A huge, like, sort of courtyard down below it. 4 doors, north, west, south, and east. Up above the bottom where, like, these bridges come from the outside in. And then there's, like, this large sort of ring around it. So you can walk literally from door to door around the tree suspended up in the air. But there only seems to be these 4 doors in, and then you can go up and down the tower from inside.
Sorry.
Should have given you a climbing kit.
I know, right? I'm not. I don't
remind
have
me next
anything
time.
else. Okay. How far would you say am I from the door right now?
How far do you want to be?
At least 30 feet.
Okay, 30 feet away. You see him walking in. The guards do.
Okay.
The guards do see you from here.
God. Sorry, guys, I'm blanking.
No problem. If you need time to think, we can jump over to the other group.
Yeah. So like, so my plan, my only plan, because I just want to get in there sneaky in, sneaky out, because I feel like I don't want to talk to anyone, because then they're gonna know someone's there.
Sure.
I want to like Misty Step into a doorway, just to get in. So that's why I'm wondering, like, is there like, oh, there's just another tree
Sure.
where I could like
So-
just walk behind it
So
and like,
since
disappear?
you can see inside where the door is,
Yes.
walk up towards the door, take a left like you're just walking around the tower, and as soon as you are out of the sight of the guards, you can essentially Misty Step in, because you're basically kind of going through the wall and kind
Yes.
of dropping just behind them. Is that what you'd like to try and do?
Yes.
Okay. Make a stealth check as you appear behind them.
Okay, I'm blowing through all my inspirations right now.
Use that inspo.
It's a natural 20 for a 22.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So
Oh my god.
you appear right behind them in a puff of smoke and kind of look over your shoulder. You're maybe 5 feet from them. But they seem none the wiser as you tiptoe further in, and you see Alice walking past sort of the front desk reception, up some stairs. With a natural 20, the way you landed, we'll say that currently even the receptionist up front, who has her nose down in some papers and books, does not notice you.
Awesome. Yeah. What's the furniture and stuff like inside of the...
There's in this sort of waiting room, there's a few sort of chairs and couches and whatnot to sort of sit on, but directly in front of you, besides the desk where the young lady from earlier is, there are 2 sets of stairs that seem to be going up to whatever the next floor is.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep trying to follow then, since
Sure.
the receptionist
Yep,
hasn't
which
seen me.
is easy enough to do. Still looking human right now?
For now.
Okay. Yeah, so with a natural 20, you're easily able to sort of follow him up and kind of, stick to corners, to the edges of walls. Whenever you sort of run into or see anybody else in the hallway, you kind of just make yourself look as small as possible, and no one really seems to be asking many questions or really, looking too closely at you. And eventually you follow him up another set of stairs in a long hallway, and he walks up to a door, stops for a moment, and then takes off further down the hall, sort of a little absent-mindedly. And passing the door, do you read Elvish by chance?
I read all things written down.
Oh. Then you see on the door, or at least next to it, you see his name, and assume this is probably his office.
And but he didn't go into it, right?
He was about to, and then he kind of had this moment like, oh, I need to do something else, and walked off.
I think I'll keep following him.
Okay. While you follow him, we'll go back over to Leaf, Leo, and Roslyn, who you are brought up to sort of this small grove, kind of off the side, off the beaten path a little bit, where there is a bit of a garden kind of set up. There's a small fountain that, despite it being winter here and snowing, is still flowing. Very beautiful within sort of as the snow kind of, settles down around it. And there are a few sort of small, what looks to be sort of domiciles here that are centered around, at the back of this grove, this large greenhouse. It stretches back further into the woods, but it's glass as far as the eye can see, all windows. So unlike most of the other structures, which are sort of built into the trees or around them in some way, it's just this large greenhouse that heads back. And Leaf, you notice above the door, the biggest one you've seen so far is that same crook with the wreath of leaves around it. The guards say to you, this is one of the temples to Melora that we have, and kind of gestures around to some of the smaller dwellings around it. And these are temples dedicated to some of the other forbidden deities. And you can see that above them there are small sort of signs, and sort of not straight up signs like, hey, temple here, but like if you know what
illegal temple here.
If you know what to look for, you can kind of like see some of like the telltale signs of like, oh, okay,
It's a temple speakeasy.
kind of, yeah,
Yeah, got it.
pretty much.
All right.
Thieves camp for temples.
Can Rosalind go over to the fountain and just like take like a handful of water and go to like wash her face up a little bit so she's not looking like she was just in a fight?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So she'll do that, and then glance over to Leaf and to Leo. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna go offer a tribute to Avandra and say a prayer real quick.
Have fun talking to your imaginary friend. I'll be up here.
I mean, you say imaginary, but my sword suddenly started glowing, so it's pretty cool. Then she'll turn and go and kind of like look around the different domiciles and try and see if she can see the symbol of Avandra on any of them.
Easy enough to find.
Okay, she'll enter the one that matches.
And
What's inside?
So yeah, heading down inside, you actually get there's a familiar feeling. This is the closest you felt to home, because as you walk in, it's kind of built down into the grounds. There's like a small staircase that you kind of head down, into it, and it reminds you of the New Fortuneers headquarters, and how down in your basement, your sister and your dad had set up down there a fountain to Tymora, essentially. And as you walk in, there is sort of the same sort of fountain almost. It seems to be set up down here. You can see sparkling coins down in the bottom of it. And there's a few sort of, pews and places to sit down here. And there's only two people in here right now. You see a dwarf and you see another elf. It's a small space, 20 by 20 feet maybe. Not really enough to necessarily like stay down here, but enough room for people to hang out here for a while, if need be. And there's a big painting above this fountain of someone's imagining of Avandra.
Rosalind will set her sword and shield down near the entrance, so she's not walking into the temple armed. And
you get
she'll walk
an acknowledgement and a nod from the other two that are in there.
She kind of offers them an awkward smile. Not used to doing this really. And she'll walk over towards the fountain and just kneel down. And what's the like shape of this? Is there someone like who tends to this place, or? Nope. So like, is it in decent condition?
Yeah,
is everything okay?
It's still in pretty good condition. Yeah.
Okay. She'll reach into her pack and take out 10 gold and drop it into the fountain. And kind of say, she'll say, thank you for your blessing in the fight with the Otug. I am not used to actually feeling something with a deity. For me, it's always been more of a chore. And she feels very awkward saying that with 2 other people in the room, but she shrugs.
Okay. You're not sure what it is, what it's from, or if it's even your imagination, but for a moment, just an instance, you feel a tingling from your tattoo.
She'll nod and take that as her personal sign that she probably did what she was supposed to do. And she'll take 2 more coins, gold coins, out of her pack and set them down on the edge of the fountain, not in the water, but on the left and the right. One for Tamora and one for Bashaba, because she doesn't want to like trip and fall on her way out.
Okay.
Can I go ahead and subtract my gold? And after she's said her prayer, she'll get up to... do I notice anything about the dwarf or the elf that are in there? Do they seem to particularly mind my presence?
After they kind of acknowledge you, they just sort of went back to whatever it was that they were doing.
Okay. Then with that, she'll leave.
Leo and Leaf, what are you doing outside?
After Rosalind went to the Avandra one, Leaf would go into the Melora, the big Melora one.
So as you step in, it is a long greenhouse, essentially. There are plants all around the sides of you. There's a clear walkway that heads up and then kind of splits into, and I mean, this place is only maybe 20, 30 feet wide, but like maybe 100, 150 feet long. And it splits in the middle, and there's more flowers, vines, sort of trees in here, and goes sort of back further. Doesn't seem to be anyone in here currently that you can see. To continue in further and just kind of take a look around.
Can I make a perception check? So it's just like a long greenhouse?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. You can make a perception check.
Okay. Why are they always balls?
So while you're in here, you can also see too now that the windows themselves are stained glass, and you see they're mostly depictions of rainforests, pine trees, just all sorts of different natural occurrences or you know, places of beauty in nature. You see a waterfall with a lush forest down beside it, and you notice too on the far side in the back what seems to be a large wooden depiction of Melora, but it doesn't look carved. It almost looks natural, as though grown. And you also see someone down at the base of it kneel down, tending to some of the plants and flowers there.
Do they look... Do I know what race they are?
Elven. You can see short blonde hair. It's about all from here that you can make out.
They're tending the statuess of Melora?
To the flowers and plants around the statue.
Okay. Guess I'll just walk up to them.
Okay. And as you approach, they do hear you, and they turn around, and you see a female elf. Short blonde hair, soft blue eyes. She's wearing blue robes with sort of silver and gold trim on them as you get closer, and she kind of turns and looks and goes, "Oh my, well, this is the first time that I've seen an automaton in here. My apologies. Do you have a caretaker?
This one tends to walk around wherever it pleases.
That's very interesting. And what is it that's brought you to a temple dedicated to the creation of life, of all things?
This one saw a JPEG of
Does this one have a name?
This one, you may refer to this one as like an echolyptic amplification of fauna and flora, or leaf.
Leaf. That's a pretty name. My name is Amra Ballet. What was it that brought you here?
This one was given a picture, a vision, when this one was in Odessalo. And Leaf is going to describe what it saw when it was throwing rocks in the water.
I think you actually dropped a super expensive piece of jewelry in the water.
That's right. It was a bracelet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Platinum hairpin. That's what
Yep.
it was.
Yep. So you were making an offering to the lake spirit at the Erdelach, and the Wild Mother bestowed a vision of some kind upon you. That's interesting. And she kind of walks up and kind of puts her hand on your shoulder and kind of like walks around, sort of tracing it around you. What's your relationship or your knowledge of Melora? I feel like most people, when they look at one of your kind, they see artificial, fake, a construct. Most would see perhaps the opposite of what the Wild Mother represents, but she's kind of looking into your glowing eyes, quote unquote. But life is still
This
life.
This one was created and programmed for the study and research of life, floral, and fauna. This one wishes to know more about the deity known for life.
Well, then you've come to the right place. And she takes you by the hand and kind of leads you up to this large sort of construct, this image of Melora, and kind of has you kneel down next to her. And that's where we'll go ahead and wrap up tonight's session.